What's going on? Wow. Okay, so that one is really zoomed. That one's kind of far out. I don't know. I wish I had a happy medium between these two. We'll do, I like the further out. Wait, what happened? I like the further out one better. There we go. How's it going, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy first Wednesday of June. I can't believe we are already in June. I say that every single month, but it's the reality of it. Like, I get that typically we get 4 streams per month, but it feels like the months are just flying by. It could be because I know that we're getting closer to baby bot number 2 coming in just a few months time, but this year just feels like it's going so quickly. Really quick, Hasio's Prince, thank you very much for the 7 months of support. RS, time flies by. I agree. Thank you so much for the 33 months of support. For anyone that's just joining in and it hasn't been in a stream lately, or one that has had them, you might notice there's like certain names have number 1, 2, and 3. YouTube seems to have implemented some kind of a leaderboard. I don't know a lot about it. I saw it on Steve's stream on Sunday, I want to say. As of right now, it's just badges. If you click on one, I think it shows like everyone that's in the leaderboard, and it's my understanding that like everything you do gives you points. So like chatting, like gifted memberships, stuff like that. So we'll see how it ends up going. I'm not against anything that makes the streams more fun or interactive or engaging, but I'm curious to see, like, I don't seem to have any control over how it works, so I'm curious to see like how it ends up playing out over time, and if they end up adding to it. I could see it being a nuisance, but I could also see it being cool, possibly, depending on how it all kind of goes. So we'll see. Does this make my number go? Pay Hobo, thank you for the 16 months. So let me see who else is here today. Reverend's in the house, Glock's here, Eric's here, Tuxedo is here, Lord Gitface, Lewis, Beads, Hasio's, I think I said Hasio's, Greenbeard, Ranch Kid, Steve is here, hello, Petty is here, who else is here? I think that's everyone I've seen in chat. Lucas is here, Sean's here, hello everybody. So yeah, sorry about last week. Jackson had a runny nose over, not this weekend, but the previous weekend, and we thought it was allergies. I have really bad allergies. We have a cottonwood tree behind our house that's been just shedding everywhere. And then Monday of last week, Erin started to feel sick. It hit her pretty aggressively, and I felt fine. I was like going about my day normally, and then around 10 o'clock at night, I got just hit by a train basically, and I was just exhausted. And that's not normal for me. Normally I'm like a squirrel at night, and I get like a burst of energy from 10 o'clock till 1 or 2 in the morning as I work on stuff, but that wasn't the case. And then Tuesday I woke up and I felt like crap. So Tuesday and Wednesday were really rough. I didn't really do much of anything. And then Thursday, I think I was back. I think I was saying to Erin, I'm like 80% back. And then Friday I was kind of back. So I just couldn't stream. I wasn't feeling good. I had to rest. The other thing I've got going on is, I know that Tuxedo, I think mentioned it, or I had mentioned it on stream 2 weeks ago, and I remember Tuxedo had like commented about it, but my thumb was hurting 2 weeks ago on stream, and my thumb's been hurting for a while. And if you look, I don't know how this will show up on camera, but if you look at my thumbs, this is my right and my left. If you look at where like the wrinkles are in the thumb, the right one has been looking swollen to me, and the more I look at it, like the more I can see like, oh no, it is actually swollen. So it's been about, I mean, I feel like hopefully you can see it. I mean, if not, you take my word for it, but I don't know what happened. I didn't have any particular moment where I did something, you know, like stubbed it, or did something where my thumb was like, did a thing where my thumb had an instant pain and I said ow. So I don't know what caused it. About 3 weeks ago, when I think it started hurting, was when I was moving a bunch of soil and doing all the irrigation stuff, and I know that I was really like clamping down with a lot of force on those worm gears. And yeah, it hurts. It's been, I'm usually the type of person where like, if I hurt myself or something happens, I'm just like, well, you know, bodies heal themselves, so I'll just let it heal. And it hasn't been the case. It hurts as much, if not even more, than it did 3 weeks ago. So Erin had been saying like, you should go to a doctor, you should go to a doctor. I'm like, yeah. So I finally went to the doctor on Monday of this week, and she said, yeah, no, it's swollen, and because of its location, it's kind of strange. She's like, I have no idea whether you sprained it, whether there's a minor fracture, whether it's just like arthritis. I don't know, So
Don't forget to
Tuesday morning, I went in. Reverend, thank you so much for the gifted memberships, man. And Hasios, thank you for the donation. Cheers, guys. We do all the sound effects. Thank you for the support. So Tuesday morning, I went in. I got an X-ray done on my thumb, and they said within 24 to 48 hours, I should have an answer. But mainly the reason why I'm even sharing this info is that I'm probably going to be taking things a bit slower, and I might be looking a little more awkward as I do things today because I'm trying. It seems to be okay if I don't do a whole lot with it, but if something hits it or I compress it too heavily, it starts to hurt more. So I've been using my left hand a bit more, which has been incredibly awkward. So that's mainly why I'm saying something, is that if you see me and you're like, huh, he seems slower than normal or something's going on, like my thumb is just not feeling great. But the show has to go on. She basically told me, like, don't splint it yet, because if it ends up being something like arthritis, you actually don't want it to be like locked in a position. You want to keep it moving. So that's what's going on. The pain is pretty much located on the joint. So the main area of pain is on this side and on this side, right at the joint. When she had me do some like hand movement things where she like had me touch my pointer and then touch my pinky, and like on this hand, I can easily touch my pinky, no problem. On this hand, like right about there, it starts to stiffen. And if I try to bring my thumb to right here, it starts to get really painful. And it's mostly here. I felt like maybe a tiny bit go down, but I think that might've just been the pain kind of radiating from there down. So this right here is the main section that seems to be hurt, where it's all swollen. So, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I'm hoping it's something that's not. Yeah, it's swollen. I mean, I couldn't really see it just looking at it, but if you look at the wrinkles of my thumb, like the wrinkles just don't look the same. Like the left, they're more obvious. On the right, because it's swollen, like they're shallower. And that's where I was like, okay, no, something's definitely up. So I'm not making it up. I'm not trying to be a little baby about my thumb pain, but like it has been bothering me. And there's definitely moments where it hurts a bit more. So I agree with Lisa. That sounds like the issues my mom was having. Yeah, it definitely feels wider as well. So we'll see what's going on. I'm hoping it's something that isn't like, this is your thumb has issues and you have to just deal with it now. Like, I'm hoping it's not anything like that, because man, you don't really realize. I mean, you know, you use your thumbs a lot, but you don't realize just how much you depend on your thumb for all sorts of things until every action that requires like some force on it just starts to hurt a little bit, you know. So I'm hoping that's not the case. Tactical. Andrew, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it, man. For the hope you're feeling better fund. Thank you very much. Yeah, she had basically, it was interesting. I don't want to derail too much. But the first thing she said when she came into the office was if autoimmune disorders ran in my family, which I was like, what? I just came in for a thumb issue. That seems like a weird question, but yeah, she was basically saying that depending on what it is, like one of the things is like a surgery, and like I really hope that's not what's necessary. I really don't want to have an operation on my thumb. I'm hoping it's like, no, you sprained it somehow, some way. The main thing I'm thinking of that was like pretty aggressive was when I was installing those worm clamps onto the irrigation. I was using a socket wrench, and I had to really put a lot of force into it. And so I'm wondering if that just like the compression and sort of side force like sprained it or did something to it. I have no idea. I was telling my dad, like, in hindsight, I should have shoved a piece of PVC over the thing so I had leverage and could use my whole hands instead of, you know, gripping it from such a small direction. But you don't think about those things typically until you have a situation where it's like, I should have thought about that, you know. So Eric, thank you for the donation. This junior career as a finger model is over before it started. I sure hope not, man. That's what I was, if the YouTube thing didn't work out, I was really hoping that, you know, as time progressed, I can get into the finger modeling side of things. So thank you. Oh, I cut it off. Thank you. So I just had surgery on my leg to remove my varicose veins. I've been limping around like an old man. Ouch. Sorry, beads. So let's get into it. So we are moving forward with the ProForge build, and I'm jumping around a little bit. So the first part of the, oh, come on. The first part of this has us installing these docking pins and magnets, and then it has us building the tool heads. But I figured for the sake of not having to move the machine and then have the machine on the desk and sort of block view, or take it off the desk again, which I'm just trying to avoid lifting and dropping the thing off the desk. We'll start by building the tool heads, and then once the tool heads are assembled, we will go back, install those pins, and then kind of bolt them in place. So we are going to start off with building these orbiters. I've had one of these in my closet for a long time, waiting for its time to shine, but it's never had a build. So I don't know much about these other than I like the original orbiter. I know they made some, this is a more compact version, like they integrated the filament runout sensor. And I think there's a button for loading. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought there definitely was on the Gen 1. But one of the big things that they did was that they added, oh, come on, I can't even open this, really? Okay. One of the big things that they did was they added a hot end like into the heat sink of it, while before it was sort of a standalone thing that you would sit on top of the hot end. So it does make the whole thing more compact, and I feel like this is a pretty good option for a tool changer build, just due to it being really compact. And you know, as I mentioned, I've had really good experiences with orbiter extruders in general, so hopefully this is in line with that. Do you like NerdForge? It's funny. One of my I was making a bunch of thumb jokes at work in my call before I went to the doctor the other day, and that's what somebody said, was to make a replacement thumb. And I said that'd be a great video. Here, printing my replacement thumb. Okay, so I'm probably just gonna take, this looks like this is just filler. So I think what I'll likely do is just get everything out so we can kind of do an assembly line of all of these at the same time. That's at least my thought process. How's everybody doing? Also, when is Murph? Isn't Murph coming up in the next, I feel like I've seen people talking about it, so I feel like it must be coming up in the next short while here. Okay, so let's just take all this stuff out, dump it, and then we will kind of get started. NerdForge did that for Littlefinger. They have videos on the process. I remember, I don't think I watched the video, but I definitely remember the thumbnail. They did the thumbnail, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like, I think NerdForge is a party of two, but one of their faces with like the hand with the printed finger, I'm pretty sure that was the thumbnail. And I remember it was recommended for a long time, so I kept seeing it and was like, that looks wild, but I haven't actually watched it yet. Succedo, thank you so much for the gifted membership, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you, everybody. I am currently, in exciting news, I'd mentioned a few weeks ago, but like we've been saving up for probably a few years for a larger vehicle, a mommy car. Erin hasn't had really her own car in probably 5 years. She had when we started dating 10 years ago, she had a Volkswagen Bug that she loved, and I hated the thing. She knows I despised her Bug. The main issue was that it was just really unreliable. There was always an issue with it, and so we ended up, before we moved from like our parents' houses or where we were living to moving in together, which was now probably 6 or 7 years ago, she sold it just for parts, and we've been sharing my Corolla for the last, 6 or 7 years. But now that we live in Idaho, where we get some snow and want to be able to do some camping stuff, and now baby number 2 is on the way, like it's been a little bit more, the Volkswagen, it was a Bug. So like, I can probably find, let me see, VW Bug. Yeah, hers looked like this. I remember it had a turbo engine. She really loved her little turbo engine. This is, oops. This is, oh, come on. Oh, of course hold on, let me open this up on a. This is roughly what it looked like. At least that's what I remember it. She had it pretty, like, there was like flowers and pink ribbons and stuff like that, but that's roughly what I remember. This might even be a little bit newer. I don't know, it looks newer than what I remember hers looking like. But we had that for a while, and it was always something going wrong with it, whether minor or major. And so we've been sharing the Corolla and saving up for a larger vehicle, and so we finally purchased a vehicle from Toyota a Highlander, which I'm really excited about. It's gonna be awesome. So it should be here in the next couple weeks. But oh no, not the original tuxedo. Yeah. Not the OG one. But the issue we've discovered is when we moved in here. Wow, you guys, today is a lot of good. Thank you so much, RS. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, everybody. A lot of awesome support today. The issue is, so like when we moved into this house, this was a new build, and it was a 3-car garage because we had basically agreed that I would need a lot of space in the garage for light burn stuff and 3D printing stuff with all the lasers and, you know, CNCs and things like that. And then we got a single car bay that was going to be basically the parking bay for Erin, right, for her vehicle. So that way, because when we were in the rental, she had to park out in the snow, and she leaves the house a lot more than I do because I'm a, I think hermit's the right word for like someone that doesn't leave the house. I don't know. But so the issue we discovered is that the width of the single car bay is too skinny. She basically would have an 1.5 inches. No, maybe that's a little exaggeration. Maybe it was like 2.5 inches on each side of clearance to get in and out of the garage. And I just know that with having kids, soon to be plural, that like all it's gonna take is like, oh, we're running late to practice or running late to something, and then smacking the side of it. So what I decided was that I'm going to be giving up half of the big garage so that way the car can park in there. And so I'm having to move everything. Basically the single car bay will be now where like laser and CNC is, and mostly where like I'm doing recording. We'll probably be streaming in there in a few weeks time when we do the large FISEC build. And then the remaining part of the 2-car bay where the car's not, I'm just gonna have like storage racks for printers and stuff like that. Kind of, I don't know, it won't look probably all that great, but it'll be a storage area. So I'm in the process of moving all that stuff around, which you'll see soon. It's going to be kind of chaotic when we do the stream here, but we are really excited to just have a larger vehicle. The Corolla with a kid, like, it's so low to the ground that every time we have to get Jackson in and out, you're like bent down super low and like reaching in, trying not to smack his head on the car. So it'll be nice. I would screw a plank of wood to the wall all the same, much softer on the door. Oh, wait, I would screw a plank of wood to the wall all the same, much softer. You mean like in case you were gonna hit it with the door or something like that? Is that what you? I'm trying to figure out what that means. Okay, unpacking the orbiter extruder. Open the box and you should find main extruder body. So let's just let's kind of organize this stuff a little bit. So let's take a quick look at this for anyone that hasn't seen what these look like, because I haven't actually looked at one of these in person. I feel that getting my little in the Fiesta is a literal pain. Yeah, my back, everyone that watches this channel for a long time knows like my back sucks. I was in 2 really bad car crashes as a kid. Neither time was I driving, but my back's locked up a few times. That was actually like one of the few weeks where I had to skip a stream was I couldn't move. And so it's kind of sketchy every time I have to get down and like get Jack in and out. So it's gonna be a lot nicer, like having, you know, not eye level, but more natural level seating. And then also all-wheel drive is a big thing for the snow and stuff out here. The model you're referring to is the new Beetle. Got it. Okay. I don't know a whole lot about Volkswagens. My dad always really liked the Volkswagen buses. He was a surfer guy, so there's a lot of Beach Boys in my life growing up. Okay, so here is the Orbiter V3. It has a pretty unique heatsink where it's got these fins around the fan, which I think looks really, really cool. This has got, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it's I think it's RGB. It at least has green, at least 3 LEDs, like I think it's green, yellow, red, as sort of like a status. So there is a button. The button is, you can use in Clipper as a macro. So I think that typically you can have it set up where like if filament is loaded and you press that, it can heat up the hot end and retract. And if it's not loaded, you can press that button and it'll basically auto load, which is really awesome. Sadly, my potato computer is crying watching a live. Oh no, I'm an older guy, so the original Beetles were ubiquitous in my, gotcha. Yeah, it wasn't the old, like the classic Beetles. So yeah, I mean, that's basically it. We've got that's kind of interesting to me. There's a ribbon cable connector down here on the bottom, which seems like an odd place to me. Huh. And then this is basically where our heat break and our heating element is going to go inside of right there. So it's very different than, I wish I had a regular orbiter up here I could show. That's also different too. So on the Orbiter 2, which is what I've used, it's got just your typical tensioning screw. Well, this looks like it doesn't have that. So it probably won't be the best for super, super soft filaments, but I know that I've been testing out a new extruder for K1 printers, and it also has sort of a locked tension. And so same with one of the E3D's extruders has that. And it does a really good job of like all rigid materials up to a certain amount of softness. But if you were printing with like 65A TPU or something that's really specialized, it probably wouldn't be my recommendation. You'd want to have finer control of the tension. But yeah, this is what this looks like. So we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. Let's open up scissors. I'm not going to tear bags with my hands either. I might need scissors. Where are my scissors? Give me 1 second, everyone. It's probably over at the main desk. Yep, there they are. Okay. These are not the sharpest of scissors anymore. Okay, so here, is there no nozzles? Oh, there is. Okay, cool. Bondtech nozzles, actually. Okay, so here is our heat break, which looks like it's bimetal. It looks like it's maybe, I don't know if it's stainless on the inside and then copper. That's kind of what it looks like to me. And then I believe this is just a standard V6 threading. So we got that. And the nozzles, that's cool. So it comes standard with a CHT nozzle. I don't think this is like the wear resistant. I think these are typically just plated copper. I haven't actually played around with a lot of CHTs. Most of what I've used has been like the CHT Revo variant or the high flow Revo, or like the high flow micro Swiss nozzles, which do use the same sort of technology, the core that they have in here, but I haven't actually used much of any of the just traditional Bondtech CHT nozzles. So we've got nozzle, nozzle, nozzle. We've got a bunch of these mini screwdrivers, and little set screws it looks like. So let's put these over here, and let's open up the rest of these. I don't know how much of the included wire we're going to be using. I would think not a lot, since we're using tool head boards. So I don't know if we're using completely separate wires. I don't think you have to cut and crimp, so we'll see how that goes. We've got some thermal paste, which I know we'll have to use. I did see that. That's why I got my handy dandy doctor gloves out. It's V6. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have one of those extruders. Awesome. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, I guess looking at the nozzle, it does look V6. I should have probably just looked at that first. All right, so we got 3 of those out, and we've got all of our thermal compound out. Let's see. There is... Okay, so I don't know if this is saying that we need this cable in addition. It says I/O cable. It says you should find an I/O cable. Let's open up one of these and see what cables are in. I don't want to open up all these cables because it looks like a lot. Getting a nice little collection. Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's nice to have them in 1.5s. Okay, so yeah, it looks like the I/O cable is included in here. So this must be probably, this looks like the little guy. Yeah, this is the little one that's going underneath it. So maybe we will open these and I'll just take out the I/O cables and I'll set off. These are the longer ones that I don't think we're probably using, just because of the fact, like I said, we're using a tool head board, and this length is anticipating you running it all the way back to your controller. So let's go ahead and just open up the rest of these and take out those little I/O cables. Did anybody answer? Sorry, I don't know if I missed it, but when is Murph? It's coming up, right? I think it's got to be in June, which we're in now. Is anybody here going also? I remember Volkswagen Beetles from my childhood. At 6 foot 4, it would be like putting on the car. It took me a second to understand what you meant by that. Like putting on a pair of shoes, basically. It's just a... Wow, this is a lot of cable. I'm probably going to just save these cables for times I need cables, because this is... I don't want to waste this. This is... I mean, gosh. That is a lot of cable. Okay. It says plug the I/O cable into the extruder and bend it towards the motor. So we will start by sliding all this to the side. And let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. I'm probably gonna turn off autofocus just because it really likes my hands. Yo. Okay, and I think that these are the same. These look identical on both ends, so I don't think that matters. I'm gonna try to, like I said, just be careful with my thumb. If I can. This does require quite a bit of force. Okay, that looks like it's in. Try to use my pointers maybe. Like I said, you don't realize how much you use your thumb for everything until it's hurting. Wow, this is a really tight fit, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I don't want this thing falling out, obviously, so I'd like it to fit snug, but it's definitely a little tight. I'll be at Murph. Cool. Hey, Poity. Murph is June. Okay, so there's still 16 days, roughly, so a couple weeks out. I've seen people talking about it a bit more, so I'm like, I know it has to be coming up soon-ish. Okay, I think this is fully seated. It says to bend it towards the motor. I don't know if I need to do it right this second. I imagine that's probably when I'm adding the toolhead board. Thermal paste. Apply a thin layer of included thermal paste to the shaft of the heat brake as shown. For the Revo, no thermal paste is required. Loosen... I'm just gonna really quickly look through like the next couple steps here. Loosen this grub screw using the included. Okay, so there's a grub screw right there. Slide the hot end in. Orient it so orient its cable so that they point to the corner of the motor as shown. Okay. Tighten down the same grub screw to secure. Okay. So I'm thinking what I'm probably gonna do is take out a piece of... What happened to my paper towels? They usually within an arm. Oh, there they are. They fell. I'm gonna just add some thermal grease to all these at the same time, but I want to make sure I put them somewhere where they're not going to get paste on everything. So let's go ahead and put our doctor gloves on. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. And it looks like it wants us to take off the little silicone socks. So let's start by doing that on all these. Hey, Shrimp Father! It's much easier to drive to Murph than Rocky Mountain, like 1,100 miles. Ooh. I want to go to Murph one year, but it's the weekend of my daughter's birthday. Oh, that's tough. Unless you can convince... I don't know how old your daughter is or what her interests are, but like unless you can convince her to do a Murph trip for her birthday, if she'd be interested in that. It is a lot of fun. It's the one I've been to the most. It's very much, I mean, it might have changed in the last couple of years since I've been there, but it's always been very like casual. Yeah, I don't know. I like the event a lot. So I don't really have anything to apply this with, so I'm thinking what I'm probably gonna do And it looks like it wants us to apply it both to the copper as well as the little stainless, but not to the bottom portion here. So I'm just gonna try to, I don't know if it's better to squirt on my finger and then rub it in. Let's try that. Let's try that. So I'm gonna squirt a little bit on my finger and just sort of go to town. Okay, that was a lot. There's still a little bit of exposed. Okay. Try not to get it in the actual filament path, but using my fingers, it's not the easiest. It's probably about as good as I'm gonna get this one. I do think that when I slide it into the actual heatsink that it will probably shave off some of this, but I'm gonna call that good enough for right now. I did get some over the top. I think I got it out. Okay, so let's just set this. Can I set it in a way where I'm not gonna? There we go. Yeah, kind of works. I give my daughter my V400 and she enjoys. Oh, sick. Yeah, then maybe she would enjoy it. It is a lot of fun. I mean, it's like Amish country, so you get to see the horse and buggies, which I think is really cool. It's definitely not something you see every day. At least, I mean, I guess it depends on where you live. It might be something you see every day. Okay, let's just lean you like that. Did I drop it? No. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's good time. It's like any of the events, right? Like, it's the people really that make it, and there's just a lot of really cool, nice people. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, that's plenty. Huh, that might be the better way, is just to have a little bit on the finger and kind of rotate it around this little stainless. It seems like it's getting a pretty, it's hard to get right where it meets. Okay, I'm gonna call that good enough as well. So let's lean that one. And I might need to open, I might need to open another packet. This is getting a little low. Yeah, let me open one more packet. I probably could have squeezed enough out of there, but oops, sorry. Oh yeah, dude, I've never had those donuts. I remember I think I've only been there twice actually, but I remember the 2 times I was there, people talking about the Amish crack donuts. And I want to say that the last year I was there, if I'm not mistaken, that tripods actually ran out and got a bunch to give out to people, yet somehow I still didn't get one. Not because he didn't offer. I don't know what the excuse was. Maybe my stomach was upset or something was going on. I don't know, but I have not gotten to try those donuts. My wife just assembled her first printer during Memorial Day weekend. It was a Crowdy under 3K3. She won at, how freaking cool, Jim. That's cool that your whole family is involved with it. I really wish there was Rep Rap Fest on the West Coast. Even Rocky Mountain is too far for me. Are you in California, Hobo? I can't remember where you're at. There's the, I mean, if you're in California, there's the OC Maker Fair, which I know is not a Rep Rap Fest. It's not exclusively 3D printing, but like that's probably the closest kind of maker event that would be on the West Coast that I know of. Yeah, that was probably pretty excessive with the thermal paste, but like I said, I think that once I insert this in, hopefully, this one especially has kind of a lot. Let me wipe some off my finger and see if I can kind of thin it out a little bit. Oh, maybe not that much. I don't know. Maybe I just leave it. Let's just leave it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take the gloves off. Okay. Maybe I put one more on just to have a clean glove in case I get some on me. Okay, let's do, I got 2 gloves out. Let's do one last glove here. Unless there was a section I saw that showed more thermal paste, so I did kind of cheat and look at this. Oops. Let me make sure. Okay, so we do need some more thermal. Okay, I'm gonna wait then, because you do need to add thermal paste to the actual nozzle on this, which is interesting. That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever done that before. Okay, so let's just, let's move forward without the glove. So it looks like the next step is to take this guy, back out a little bit, and let's get a, do I have a 1.5 millimeter already out? I don't. They're probably in the garage. So let's take out one of these included ones. Gloves off. Hey, Nick. My daughter's turning 23. My wife joined me last year at 3D Printopia. It'll probably be a yearly thing for her. My daughter will probably be working at the Maryland Ren Fest. Gotcha. I had never been to a Renaissance fair in my life. Like, California had, I'm sure, plenty of them, and I know a few coworkers when I worked at MataHackers would go, but we went to one with my parents out here in Idaho last year, and it was a ton of fun. The like music and singing, and there was like, I don't know what the role is, but the person that's like, they just do all sorts of odd stuff on stage. Everything from like singing and dancing to like poetry to roasting. Like it was really fun. Jack liked the knights fighting. That was pretty cool as well. Hey, Jax. Oh, okay, Oregon, gotcha. Super sweet though, so it limits how many I can eat. Yeah, I have a sweet tooth, so I think that I can't even open this little baggie. I might be cutting things today. The doctor did recommend that I get this, like, she said it was basically like an ibuprofen in a cream form that just targets like where you apply it instead of taking ibuprofen that, you know, for your full system. So I might need to get some of that. All right, so this is saying it looks like the set screw. Okay, it's gonna be pretty tough to show on camera, I think, but there's a little set screw. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to really show. Maybe if I move the fan blade. It's like, yeah, you can kind of see it. It's, yeah, there you go. So it's, it's right here. Nope, right down there. So that's the set screw that holds this in place. So we're gonna start by just loosening it a few turns. It's already relatively loose. And then we are going to back out the camera a little bit. I haven't tried anything yet, Tuxedo. I haven't done anything, like no ice, no, I mean, yeah, I haven't done anything yet. So I need to try, you said it's called Voltaren cream. Maybe I'll try that. I can't even, diclofenac? Is that what? Yeah, I'll probably pick up something today after Jack's swim lessons. Okay, so it looks like orientation-wise, we are going to be taking one of these guys, and it's going to be going in approximately, let's try not to get, I got thermal paste all over. Can we go into our home, please? Why are we not going in? There we go. Okay, so it looks like it wants this to sort of orient the cable so they point towards the corner of the motor. So yeah, it looks like this is basically how it needs to be, where it's going towards this direction. That's at least what I'm seeing from here. So I'm just going to hold that in with my thumb like this, and then I'm gonna assume that this set screw probably has Loctite on it. That could be an unsafe assumption, but there's no mention of adding Loctite. So I'm just going to Hope for the best. It's better than Ibu. I use it for my knee. Does a really good job. Okay, yeah, I'll try something. Oh, okay, it's the same thing. Gotcha. That's probably what the doctor recommended. She gave me a little printout with some cream that she recommended I pick up, and I went to the store to get some other stuff, and left the printout in the car, and then was like, I'll be okay. It, it wasn't hurting that bad in the moment. I was like, I don't need to take something, but I'm at the point now where I'm just like, yeah, I'll take, I'll take something. Okay, so we're gonna rinse and repeat that process. So let's start by one more time loosening the set screw. Like that. Maybe I need to loosen it more. Maybe that's the issue that I had. Let's see. This one's tough to get in as well. I can't tell if it's really tough to get in or if it's just an issue like of me not lining it up well. Okay, let's loosen it more. I don't see how the set screw could still be causing it to be tight. I think it's a me thing. I don't understand. Why are we not? There we go. Okay. Okay, so that feels about right. It's pointing towards the left again. So I will hold it in place. I'll definitely probably get a paper towel and try to clean up some of that thermal paste. Yeah, I think it's a me thing because I have to tighten it in there pretty far for it to engage with the shaft. Had it for my shoulder, it's amazing, but yeah, stomach hates it. Wait, the cream stuff, it affects your stomach? Okay, that's probably tight enough. It looks like I'm tightening it harder than I am, but I'm like not putting as much pressure as it looks like I am. That seems fine. Okay, last one. Oh, pill, gotcha. Cream can be bought off the shelf. Not sure about the pills though. Got it. Yeah, the cream is what was recommended, so that's what I'll likely end up trying. Okay, last one. See if I can get this one in a little bit easier. Yes. I did it. Okay, so I think that's, I mean, they're not exact, but they're all pointing towards roughly the same direction. They say that you better take stomach protector with it. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, these look, I'll show you. You can kind of see, but these all look good enough. I mean, it's not exact. One might be a little bit more angled than the other, but I think we're fine as far as direction goes. I'm hoping I tightened down the set screw enough. Like I said, it's a pretty small set screw, and the last thing I want to do is strip something out. So we'll leave it as is. If for some reason something comes loose in the future, then obviously I know I either need to add Loctite or just tighten it down a little bit more, but I'd rather err on the side of caution since there's just a single set screw holding the heat brake in place. 3 pinners on the stairs are hard to do. Yeah, is it your knees, Lisa? Is it? I mean, I would imagine it's probably the knees, right? With the stairs that's being tough. I have a baby belt printer kit to finish, 2 box turtles to build in a Voron 2.4, plus the Core 1 upgrade kit arrived. Yeah, that sounds like... that sounds very relatable. Very relatable. Okay, and this is if you have the Revo, which we don't have. So now for the nozzle, screw the nozzle into the heater block, apply some thermal paste. So let's glove it up again. Glove it up. Let me move this like this. I am not, as far as I'm aware, getting an SV08 Max or testing one out, just if anyone's curious. Let me get some water. I don't really have the space, and also they haven't reached out yet, but it does look like, I'm curious, based off the SV, or based off the Zero that they sent that we played around with a bit, I'm curious to see how the SV08 Max is. I have narrowing, of my lower spine. So going up and down the stairs doesn't work. Mom needs me in the room with her. Gotcha. Is there anything that can be done for that, or is it basically just like taking it easy and then pain management? I don't know much about, yeah, I don't know much about what can be done or can't be done for something like that. Probably gonna end up cutting all these as well. For anyone coming in that wasn't here earlier, my thumb has been hurting for like 3 weeks and it's a bit swollen, so I'm waiting on x-rays, but it's kind of why I'm doing weird things like cutting open small bags instead of just opening them. That the strength it requires to like use my thumb to open the small bags just adds to the discomfort, so that's what's going on here. Okay. So we've got this. How do I want to do this? I guess if I if I use this finger for all the grease, then I can use these two fingers to twist it in place. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get this to work. So let's just do a little bit of grease on the finger, like so. And it looks like it's just primarily where the threads are. Let me zoom in a little bit. I failed. I failed. I already used the finger I wasn't going to use for the grease, so it's also not going into the threads as deeply as I would like. So let's like twist this around. Then let's use my finger to clear that. I'm basically right now, you can't see it, but I'm just gonna start threading this in ever so slightly. If I can get these to align. There we go. Okay, and I'll tighten it down after. Just so that way I don't get thermal grease all over everything. Hey, Armor! How did the start of your Trident build go? God, that was a mess. That was a mess. So much for the gloves. I should have had probably gloves on both hands, but that's okay. It's just thermal paste. Okay. Final one. Stuff is messy. You know who I haven't seen today, who's almost always here? Delmar. I hope he's okay. Okay, hopefully that's good enough. Just try not to get thermal paste in the filament path. Okay, so I'm going to officially take the gloves off. 1 second. As you can see, I didn't do a good job of not getting it on my non-gloved hand. Hey, Terminally Chill. All right, zooming out. If you have not smacked the like button, please do so. We're gonna be doing our usual multiplayer maker giveaway. I'll probably open it up in probably about an hour. Okay, so let's roll this up and get it as far away from here into the trash as possible. Also, Jackson and Aaron are out at like a kids museum thing, and my phone vibrates. Just want to make sure that everything's okay. Yep, it wasn't her. Oh, I got my test results for my my X-ray. Huh. Okay, well, all it says is interesting. The results are like nothing. It says impression, no acute radiographic abnormality is demonstrated. Pain in right hand thumb, comparison non-findings bones, no acute fracture or misalignment, no suspicious osseous lesion, soft tissues, no significant soft tissue swelling, and no radiopaque foreign object. So that sounds like good stuff, but that does leave me wondering what that means then. Like, I had an X-ray, I mentioned earlier, like I was in some bad car crashes as a kid, and my spine will like lock up on me, and I'll get this sharp pain from like my lower ribs to my back, and I had to do an X-ray on that as well to finally see like what the issue is after 10 years, like what the damage is, and the X-ray came back with nothing, and I'm like, well, I'm telling you that like I get really bad pain a few times a year, so like there's clearly something. So I don't know. Narrows it down to nerves. Yeah. Does that mean it's not a sprain then as well, or could it still be a sprain? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that information. I mean, it's, I guess, a positive, right? There's nothing. Screw it. Let's use my fingers. Or you know what? Do I have I might have a little nozzle wrench thing in here. It's kind of one of those things with doctors where it's like, oh great, you didn't find anything, but like, what is the issue then? Does this fit? Yes. No, I don't have to use my hand at all. It could be a sprain. They don't always show up on X-rays. Okay. It means you'll live. You guys can't get rid of me. You guys can't get rid of me that easy. Okay, so that's a very loose fit. I'm just threading it in loosely right now. I don't know that I even want to tighten it more than that at this point until we hot tighten it. Maybe I'll do a tiny bit more. Would you recommend a probe of any kind on a V0, or is it less? So I haven't done a probe on a V0. There is one specific one that I was interested in doing, like side swipe, or like basically the clicky variant of the V0 version, but I never did it. I do think it's probably overkill. There is one sensor that I'm hoping to get in at some point to play around with that might be going on a V0, but it wouldn't be going on a V0 because I think the V0 needs it. It would be going on the V0 because I can, and for science and for fun. So, I mean, I'm not saying don't do it. Like, if you're interested in doing it and you want to just sort of learn a probe or learn the configuration side of things or whatever it doesn't really matter what your reasoning is, like, that's fine. But do I think it's necessary or that it needs it? No, I don't. It's a very small, rigid flatbed typically because of its size, so it's certainly not necessary. So much for getting the bionic thumb. Yeah, no bionic thumb. I'd rather just have a diagnosis. Oh, I agree. I agree terminally. I've mentioned before, like, I don't know in stream, but like, I'm pretty good at dealing with news no matter what the news is. But I like to know like what I'm dealing with, and so the whole like it's not this, it's like, okay. I'm basically where I was before I went to the doctor, where I'm like, yeah, my thumb just hurts and I don't know what the deal is. So I don't know, maybe the answer is I just need to take it easy on it and like splint it up and let it recover and stop using it so much. I don't know. Whoa, that is spinning. Okay, so I'm imagining this needs to be tighter as far as the set screw is, because it shouldn't be rotating like that. I'm gonna loosen it so I can pop this thing back in. Yeah, for science. For science. If the Sobol Zero can have an eddy probe, I want my B0 to have one too. Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, I don't want to go tighter than that. Maybe I don't need to be tightening this more than I'm doing. Or maybe I need to hold this while I'm tightening it. It still seems like it's spinning. It is spinning. That seems... Is there another thread that I'm missing? Oh. Oh. Okay. I'm seeing what's happening. It's not the set screw. It's not the set screw. So where this little copper piece meets this larger heating element, that's threaded in. And so it's that thread that when I'm going this way, at least I think, damn, I don't want to use my thumb. At least I think that's what's happening. No, it is the set screw. It has to be the set screw. Maybe I should use a different set screw? It's weird. Okay, no, ignore what I said before. It has to be the set screw. There's no way it would be rotating this far. Okay. So it is the set screw. Maybe try a different set screw? It's a bit frustrating. It's like a fancy way of telling you we don't know what's wrong with you. Yeah. I was really hoping for a sprain out of the things that they had said. What do we think we should do here, everyone? This one's spinning. I mean, it's not going up and down, so I don't know how much it really matters. Like, once this is locked in, I don't really see it moving a whole lot. There's other set screws, like I can just swap set screws and see if maybe a different set screw holds a bit tighter. But I don't really want to go... I really don't want to go that much tighter with this. Let's try it. Let's do a different set screw just because we're here and I'm thinking about it. It does look like the Loctite on that set screw came off, so that could have been part of it. I don't think it's stripped. You mean the actual extruder or the set screw? I don't think it's stripped. I hope it's not stripped. I definitely didn't tighten it tight enough to strip it. And it does feel like it has quite a bit of threads. I don't know that oh, the set screw. It doesn't look stripped, but it definitely looks like the Loctite that was on it came off. So maybe, yeah, I don't think it would affect printing, Lisa. Okay, let's see if that does a better job. Okay. It's still spinning. It's doing the same thing. So I'm gonna leave it. It's just left and right. Okay, that is definitely. I could use an Allen key to give it a little bit extra ugga-dugga. I spent 5 years being told I was lactose intolerant, being gaslit by lazy doctors that don't want to dig deeper. It ended up being a much more serious medical condition. Wow. Let's do this. Let's see if I can get one of these Allen keys in there to tighten it just a hair more.
It's probably going to be this one. Is this 1.5 or is this smaller than that? Got 1.5. Okay, that feels a bit tighter. I'm calling that good enough. We'll hot tighten it and we'll move on. All right. Let's just... Yeah, I think the Allen key got me a little extra in there. Okay. Yeah, if I have leaking, I'll know. The issue I was running into right now is as I was moving it back, it was actually unthreading that. And I don't want filament to leak out through there because that would be... I mean, that would basically mean I'd have to replace the entire heating element there. So it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Okay, so now we're done with that. We can put our little... Let's put our little... yeah, let's put the socks on. I'm going to have to take them off when we hot tighten it, but just I'm more wanting to put them on just so that way I don't lose them. So we will place these on. Like so. Like that. Okay. And now it's saying we need to get our tool head boards out. So let's do that. I'm going to throw out this set screw as well, the one that's got the... I find it a little bit interesting that they include 2 extra set screws. I know that like LDO in general does, but it does make me think that maybe there is issues with the set screws, and I just don't know, like, if it has one pre-installed, you wouldn't think you would need 2 extra set screws. It seems... Maybe I'm reading into it. I'm currently compiling parts to upgrade my SP08 mainboard and building a new tool head. Nice. That sounds fun. All right, what do we have in here? Jumpers, XH connectors, all sorts of connectors, connectors, tool head board, cables. So let's just take out the tool head board, unless there's, make sure there's not any spacers. Okay, the screws we'll take out as well because we probably will need them to mount it, unless we're using different ones. But let's leave the cables inside here for now. So same thing here. Maybe we need jumpers too. We'll take out one thing of jumpers, screws, adapter board. Looks like there's a cap to the XP you can gain. Oh, really? Did the music? No, it's probably still playing. I think it's too soon to have it stop. We got one more thing of jumpers, and then we'll take out these. Oh, put this back in. All right. So let's start by taking, Where's your new Fabrico? I haven't gotten any new Fabrico shirts, man. I'm waiting. Every time the postman comes by, and then they flip a Yui, and I'm sad. All right, let's just put one of these little baggies down. I think all we're gonna need is the main board, so let's take these out. Ah, so many bags. Okay, there's one. Take all these ones out. I don't think we're gonna need these boards. This is probably gonna get mounted under the printer, or maybe we're using a different thing altogether. I don't actually know. don't hear the music. The AC is on and that usually happens. It is playing. Let's change it up. Let's go a little bit crazier. What's your advice on the Trident build? I know you built the Cybor, right? I did build a Cybor, but I don't know. Yeah, my Cybor was like older Cybor before they switched it to the whole all-wheel drive thing. Man, I don't really remember much that I ran into that was an issue with the build. I did do, I don't know if you're doing any mods out the gate, but like the one thing that I did do was the reverse electronics bay, and I'm a big fan of that. That would be one that I'd say is worth doing. And then I would imagine yours probably comes with tap, which if that's the case, that's fine. I had no issues with tap. I killed the board pretty early on by taking off the stealth burner front cover, and when I put it back on, the pins weren't aligned, and it shorted that board and it shorted the main 5-set controller that came in that. But I think you'll be fine, man. Like with the, I'm pretty sure you're doing the LDO, so like with the LDO instructions and also like what you've built, I think you're gonna be good. The only, like I said, the only thing I can think of is that if you're interested in doing it, I did really like the reverse electronics bay mod, and that would be something that, while you could do it later, it would make more sense to do prior to getting to electronics. Cool, you are doing that. The LDO Rev D comes with the click. Oh, interesting. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's interesting. I would choose, I think, tap over clicky combined with the inductive. That's weird. Wait, it can't. Gotcha. So it's one or the other then. Like you can either use clicky. I would use clicky over inductive, and then the PZ, I haven't had any issues with it, so I like that one as well. I know that I feel like everyone at this point pretty much is all for eddy probes, and I get why. Like they're crazy fast, they're super accurate, and now that there's like tap or whatever, or not tap, whatever, touch off or whatever it's called, it seems like the best of both worlds. But if you're using, I mean, if you're using variable meshing is not that big of a time suck. So I don't know. Yeah, having to redo all the electronics to flip them sounds like a huge pain in the butt. So I agree with Tuxedo that if you're gonna do it at the beginning. I'm also doing the symmetric BFI idlers. Nice, nice. My first V0 was green and black with a purple frame, a Joker build. I upgraded to the V0.2 to match the V0.2 S1 kit I built. Downside of reverse electronics is that when you need to get in there for repairs, the bed gets in the way. That's fair, it does. But I still feel like the pros outweigh the con, to me at least. Okay, it says, open the tool headboard box and take out the tool board and the mounting spacers. Check that these pins match the image and are not touching. Check that these pins match the image and are not touching? Looks fine to me. Yeah, I don't see any issues with the pins. Okay. Mounting. Mount the tool head board to the back of the extruder. So we're using spacers. Okay, so I think we probably can start by just hand tightening. So let's just do this. Maybe the ideal solution would be to come up with a quick mount, dismount mechanism for the bed. Yeah. You mean like just basically, oh, for the mounting, because it does use, is it default that it uses Wegos? I think it is. So that is, at least the wiring aspect of it is really easy to get on and off. But yeah, if you're talking about, maybe you're talking about the way it actually mounts to the risers, like the Z risers that lift it up and down. Okay, so let's get out these little nylon standoffs. I upgraded my Trident to inverted electronics. Yeah, I like it. It was one, I don't remember back then who recommended it to me, but it was recommended enough where I was like, okay, that's one of the, I think the only mod I did right out the gate. Along with tap, because I don't think the kit at the time came with tap. They did send me a tap kit, Cybor, so I did use that, if I'm not mistaken, for a very short period of time. Like I said, I had a clog that happened, and it was very early on, and that basically killed it for me. And after that, I switched it to, we completely switched it to Big Tree Tack Kraken with the takeoff tool head and the beacon and the beacon probe. So it was short-lived. But I probably would have kept it as is for, it might still be the way it was if I hadn't made a whoopsie. I'm planning out my 2.4. Finding a drawer system I like is proving difficult. Most of them take up too much. Oh, you mean like something to actually sit the machine on? Okay, so we've got, you can see there's the little screws sticking out here. So for right now, I'm just going to try to, yeah, we'll just loosely put these on both sides. I'd love to get these tool heads done today and mounted on the printer. I'd feel good about that. And I think, if I remember correctly, it's been 2 weeks since I really looked forward to what was coming next on this build, but I think that after that, we're pretty much getting ready to turn this thing on, or flashing firmware, maybe that's what it is. Which I might end up doing off stream. If it's just like the micro SD card flashing, I probably won't do that on stream. It just takes up time, and I feel like everyone pretty much has seen or is already familiar with flashing the image to a micro SD card. Hey, Neek, how's it going? Oh, for the electronics bay. A drawer system. What do you mean a drawer system for the electronics bay? I'm trying to pick, like something that pulls out to access it? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on the new Cyborg all-wheel drive Trident comparing to the LDO kit so far. I'm so impressed with how complete and high quality. Yeah, I mean, the LDO kits are solid. There's no denying it. I have not built one and thought to myself, this is, you know, not a good kit. I've had minor issues, like, I know that on my 2.4, I think the extrusion, one of them was like twisted, which I had to work around, and then the LDO extrusions on the why can't I think of what it's called? Milo. I don't know if it was an issue with the extrusions or an issue with the anodizing, but they were oh no, you know what? I don't think it was an issue with the extrusions, if I remember. It might have been an issue with the roll-in nuts that they sent, where they just weren't to spec, and so it was really, really difficult to get them into the slots and align them with the plates. That might have been the issue. It's been a while. I don't remember the exact details, but I just remember that it was kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, and then it says M36 bolts, which is probably these guys. So it looks like, let me take all these out. Let's slide this right here. Let's just open all these little baggies. These baggies are much easier to open. I'm thankful for that. I need to start building my Trident someday. Is it a kit, Reverend, or? I'm doing pretty good, man. Last week I was sick. I got a head cold, which I was probably due. I don't think I'd been sick in a while, so I was kind of just exhausted. That was probably the main thing. I did have a pretty bad headache, but ibuprofen helped with that, but just exhausted. And so I'm feeling better this week. The big thing I've got going on right now is my right thumb has been hurting for like 3 weeks and is swollen. And I just got the x-ray results from yesterday, and they didn't find anything. There was no, it was a short summary, but basically no bone things, and there was nothing that stood out. So I've got to figure out now what the heck is going on with my thumb and why it's swollen and hurting. But it's minor. I mean, like, it's minor in the grand scheme of things. Overall, everything is great. So yeah, thank you. LDO, gotcha. I couldn't afford a 2.4, instead I bought an SPO 8 for $400 and put. I don't think that's very uncommon. I know that with like the Ender 3s, that was very comments. So, okay, the thing I need to figure out is we are mounting this like this. So these boards are going to be sitting with the plug on the top, so like this. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like any wires run underneath it, so let me move you guys a little bit down. There we go. Okay, and then these are probably a 2mm driver. Yep. All right, let's get these installed. Build's going great. Build's going really good. I would say overall, like, I didn't know what to expect going into this. I've never built a tool changer. I've never, you know, had experience with ProForge, and overall, like, it's surpassed my expectations based off of instructions so far and kind of how things have gone together. I'm curious to see how, like, one of the things I'm really curious about is once we get to the calibration side of things and actual, like, print quality with dialing it in, like, how that all goes. But overall, this has been a lot smoother than I was expecting. Not that I was pessimistic, it's a tool changer, and I didn't know what to expect. Talk to Luke Labs guy, so I'm contemplating the tube. Oh, nice. Yeah, Luke, were you at Rocky Mountain then, Reverend? Luke's super cool. Okay, I'm also not over tightening these. We're threading into a nylon spacer, so that feels tight. Okay, rinse and repeat. So top of it is this way, top of the board is this way. Chatted a bit with them, gotcha. It would be cool to rebuild rebuild Takeoff with because the Takeoff I got that PCB Way made is an older version of it, and they made some really nice quality of life improvements that it would be nice to install, but I don't see myself swapping it. I probably don't see myself swapping it. But never say never. It's possible. Uh-oh. We missed our target. There we go. Hey, Steve's in the house. Hi, Steve. Can we get a hi, Steve, in the chat? Are you still running Tube with FXD? Yeah, it's still the exact same setup. The only thing I really want to change is I don't like the wiring at all. I don't have a tool head board. I was waiting on Luke's tool head for it, and I just need to make sure that it's compatible with the version of Takeoff that I'm using. But I'd like a tool head board to clean it up. And then we're supposed to be getting in the, I can't think of what the CNC'd, if GPs was here, he would tell me what it is. It's slipping my mind right now, but like the CNC gantry setup, oh, what is it called? Someone in chat has to know what it's called. But hopefully we're getting one of those in that we'll be installing on the Trident. Hey, Delmar! Your ears must have been ringing, man. I just said a moment ago, I said, you know who I haven't seen in chat that's usually here? Delmar. How you doing? Did you figure out the issues you're having with it? Was I having issues with the extruder? I don't remember having issues with the extruder. I thought the issues I had were more so with, oh, wait. Was the issue, I think you're right. The issue I was having back then was like a thermal thing, right? Where it was causing the filament to prematurely melt. I mostly have not been printing with PLA on it, so I haven't had the issue. I was messing with thread mill. What is that? Adding threads to a part? Weren't you having some issues with clogging because the extruder won't skip steps because it is sitting? Oh, that was an issue, yeah. Basically, like, if you are outrunning your hot end, the extruder just keeps shoving material down into it. Yeah. So you basically have to find what your max flow rate is and not past that. That was the issue. Cutting holes and adding, that's cool. Are you using aluminum on it already, Delmar? They've reached out to me so many times about getting a Carvera in, and I haven't responded at all. I saw Nero did a stream. I don't know if they'd be willing to send one for the stream channel because the stream channel is a lot smaller than the main channel, but if they, I might reach out and see if they're willing to send one just to play around with. We'll see. I don't know. But more and more people seem to be getting them in their hands, like, not talking about YouTube creators, but like people are in the community are buying them for projects, so it would be kind of neat to see. Respond to them and tell them to send it to me. Yeah, they must really be trying to push them because it's one of the most like aggressive campaigns I've seen, both from Carvera directly as well as like third-party marketing agencies. Okay, I've only cut aluminum on it. You're an animal. Did you have CNC experience prior, or you just straight up went, I'm doing it? I have Hector's original. Gotcha. Nice is in the house. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Hey, GPs is here. Why don't you do a video on both channels? Well, yeah, if I just did a video on the main channel, they would totally send it because that's basically what they're requesting. It's just a matter of like time and whether the audience would be interested in seeing something on it, which they probably would. I don't know. Anything outside of 3D printing usually doesn't do well on the main channel. Like, I've done some laser videos and they usually don't do well, so I try to like take that into consideration as far as like, all right, well, clearly this isn't something that very many people, my regular viewers, are interested in, but I don't know. We'll see. You can send one to me. I can't afford one after the printers I purchased. GPs, because I just said your name a second ago too. It's funny. What is the name of the CNC gantry that we have talked about for like Trident? You'll know it because you're the one that basically mentioned it to me originally. Okay, so next we are going to be installing... When are we doing the wiring for this? Did I miss that? Monolith, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, so hopefully we're going to be getting a monolith in at some point, and we'll be installing that on the Trident. That's the word. That's the name. It doesn't look like they show you installing... Okay, wiring happens later. Got it. Cool. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss it. I wasn't supposed to already be doing wiring. Okay, so we need... Mounting the toolhead board we did. So we need the docking system. This is going to be inside of these bags. And that includes, it looks like, this bracket right here. Along with... this looks like a printed part. It is a printed part. Okay. And then we also need M3x8 button heads. So let's... I'm just going to put the camera on the front for a second here while I do this. I would, hey Deanna, I would love a CNC, but my apartment is too small and I'm sure my neighbor would be unhappy with the noise, and they want a lot of money for them. I have the Carbide Nomad, which is sort of a small enclosed CNC, and okay, we'll just take this out. M3, oh no, these are not right. We need button heads. Hold on, I'll finish my thought in a second here. Okay, we'll just take out one. There's 3 of them in there. Maurice, thank you so much for the gifted memberships, man. How was the conference you went to? I know you were doing a talk at a conference 2 weeks ago now. So what I was getting at was I had that CNC when I was renting a room out of my buddy's house, but then I moved into an apartment and I did use it a little bit. That being said, I only used it with woods, mostly exclusively soft woods, and it was not that loud. The loudest aspect of it was me running a vacuum cleaner next to it to basically collect the dust, but it wasn't that loud. But yeah, I would imagine that if you were wanting to do aluminum, your neighbor might hate you. That's probably a great way to have a neighbor that is not very happy with you. But I was okay with doing softwoods and running the vacuum. Like I said, the vacuum definitely was the louder sound out of the 2 things that was happening. Hey hun, on our way home, got you some food. Yes! Awesome, that sounds wonderful. Thank you. The talk was April 2nd, 2 weeks ago. Yep, printed Amsterdam, no talk. Oh, no talk, just promoting. Got it, okay. For some reason, I thought you said you had a talk. Maybe I was wrong. How did it go though? How was the event? I didn't see much posted about it on social media, but I imagine it's probably got to be a smaller event than, like, you know, one of the Rep Fest, right? Although I thought because I thought we looked it up when you talked about it, and it didn't look that small to me. It looked pretty good size. Oh, great. We need multiple M3 8-button heads. Okay, so I'll have to pull out at least one more bag of them. Let's go with this one. Small but great. Nice. Honestly, like, oh man. I've been to big events and I've been to small events, and there's pros and cons of both. Like, the big events, one of the cons for me is that I'm never able to see everything that I want to see because there's just too much. Also, I get really overwhelmed. Like, I get sensory overload pretty easily, and so big events for me, like, I find them a bit more exhausting. While with small events, it's really nice because you typically get a chance to, like, see everyone you want to see everything you want to see, talk to everyone, and usually they're just, like, I feel at least they're a little bit more chill. So, like I said, there's definitely I'm grabbing every bolt but the one that I need. There's definitely pros and cons to both of them, but I do appreciate a small event. Should I grab the same bag that I already took these out of? It sure looks like it. It sure looks like it. Of course I did. I sure did. That's funny. I thought if I went with the middle bag, that was for sure the one I hadn't taken bolts out of already, but I was wrong. Okay, let's try this again. So this goes back in there. Just trying to kind of keep things organized for now, since I didn't print out any sort of, like, screw trays or labels. They do a pretty good job of, I like that they didn't just put all the hardware in a bag labeled hardware. Like, the tool heads have a tool head bag, 3 tool head bags, and each one contains the parts you need for 1 tool head. Like, it does make it a little bit easier to navigate. So that's definitely that's a sore thumb of approval. I do like that they did that. It's made it easier to navigate all of this. So, all right, let's find what we need. There are button heads. Those are countersunk. Those are socket. How am I not? There we go. Got it. Like the smash button for the food talk. Yes. All the food talk. Being able to have lunch and or talks with makers like Filament Stories and Pooch, keep making, that's cool. That's super cool. Filament Stories is Courtney, right? That's, for some reason that doesn't sound right, but I think it is. I've met Courtney once. She was super sweet and really, like, fun energy. And Pooch, man, I've I've hung out with Pooch a lot of times. He was at the first ever Matter Hackers meetup that I went to, the one where I actually met and applied for a job. And then he's been at the Lightburn experience, the Lightburn 2 years ago, the talk. We've done a live stream together. And I've seen him in a lot of events. Pooch is just like, he's good peeps. If you see him at an event, definitely go up to him and say hello, because he's just a good dude. Hey, Down Under! Good morning! How are you doing? Pineapple goes here, not here. I don't think she got pizza, so we won't have to have any... Okay, so it looks like all we're doing is threading into plastic. So I'm gonna move these off to the side and take these out. Stupid thumb. Let's take these out. Also, for anyone that didn't happen to see this last Sunday's video, because of being sick, I was playing serious catch up on getting the video done. I did get a preview, some snippets of the garden, which is going pretty good. I've got a few little things. Let me make sure I do this the right orientation. Yeah. So this, oh, let me go back to this. The few things I've ran into with the garden is wasps are still my enemy. For anyone that doesn't remember, we had a retaining wall put in, so that, because we had a huge slope in our backyard, and the retaining wall, like, it's a terrace retaining wall, and so like the step of it is the gardening area, and the wasps absolutely freaking love it. And I've already knocked like 4 nests that they had started hanging underneath the top caps of the retaining wall, but I believe I have like 3 more nests that are inside the internal cavity of the retaining wall, which has not been pleasant. I have probably a little bit more of a phobia of wasps than maybe most do. I got stung in the face a couple years ago, and it kind of ruined them for me. And so I have the oh my gosh, 3 freaking years. Nice. Thank you so much, man, for all the continued support. That's incredible. Like 3 years. Just like thinking back, like 3 years ago, I was living in California, didn't have a baby, wasn't married. Like it's crazy how much has happened in the last 3 years. Yeah, thank you everybody that's new or been here for the journey. Like I really appreciate all of you. Like I didn't think, like I didn't do streaming for a long time because I didn't really think that it would be something that I would be able to do well or that people would be interested in. And so when I finally took the plunge, like it was and has been incredible just to see like so many regular faces and just people enjoying hanging out. Like even if it's not always about like learning anything and it's just sort of like shop talk or just sort of chill casual time, like I really appreciate everybody. So the issue I'm having though down under is not the under the cap ones, because I can access those, and I've basically just been using like a hot shot. It's like a spray that shoots from 20 feet away with like laser. It's like a sniper spray basically. The issue is the ones that are inside, and so I picked up based off of way too much research on wasps, I picked up a dust called Delta Dust, which is an insecticide. And the issue I have is that it's the vegetable garden's right there, and I don't want the dust getting on the vegetables. And so I've only used it a little bit on the areas where I hadn't put plants yet, and it doesn't seem to be working, and I just don't know what to do because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of solutions. Like the solutions are basically use Dawn dish soap and hot water, use sprays, use like the dusts. Like there's not a whole lot I seem to be able to do given the location of them. So I'm working on it. I don't know. It's oddly been a bit more stressful than I thought it would be, just because I've spent so much time getting this garden ready, and now like I'm walking on the outer side of the cap, like hanging over the edge of a 3-foot drop, because I don't want to be up against the wall because I don't know where wasp nests are. Like it just kind of sucks. Print a fake nest. I have seen, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen people say print a fake nest, but I have seen that brown bags could be one. The good news is that they're paper wasps, I think. That at least the ones I've knocked, I don't know about the ones that are being built in the wall cavity, but that primarily seems to be what we have here. And so the good news about that is paper wasps are definitely not like one of the more aggressive ones compared to like yellow jackets or hornets, but I still don't like them. And I feel bad because of sort of my fear of them, Jackson has been developing a pretty bad fear where like he doesn't even want to be in the backyard now. Like we've been calling them buzzes, and he'll go in the backyard and like every time he sees something fly, he goes buzz and like runs away scared. And I'm like, that's not what my goal is. So I'm trying to navigate that as well. I'm like, no, like bees are friendly. We like bees, and you know, I don't know. It's been interesting. Yeah, I know also that wasps are not inherently bad and that they do eat pests. Like I know they can pollinate as well. They're not really efficient pollinators like bees, but I do know that they eat a lot of insects, which is a positive. The biggest, like, yeah, I don't know. After getting stung in the face, it's just, I kind of don't want them around. And the fact that they're in the wall that's really close to where I'm at is concerning to me. Like Jackson likes walking on the top caps of the wall, the retaining wall. And so I'm concerned that he's going to walk on one and it's going to, you know, the vibrations of it is going to basically go downward to the nest, piss them off and have him get stung, which that's kind of what happened with me. I was mowing the lawn and I didn't realize there was a nest attached to the fence and the vibration of the lawnmower pissed him off and that's how I got stung. But yeah, I know that wasps like aren't bad and there are positive things from them. Napalm. Hey Danny, stopping by to say hi. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm juggling an angry, tired toddler in the middle of the night, so can't say hi to everyone. Sorry to hear that, man. We had a pretty rough night with Jack last night. He started off with what we think was maybe a nightmare. He just woke up and was like really sad and like kind of scared sounding. And I mean, granted, like we asked him, did you have a bad dream or something like that? And he repeated like bad dream, scary as he was crying, which was sad. But then he went back to sleep and then probably starting around 5 o'clock in the morning, came in and out of our room 5 times, which is not the norm. So I don't know if it was related to him having a bad dream or what the deal was, but I'm sure Aaron's pretty dang tired. I've been chased by yellow jackets, hit a bush, they made a ground nest. Oh God. Yeah, the yellow jackets. Some of my coworkers, because I work at Lightburn and none of my coworkers are local. They're like all over the US and the world. And one of them lives in a place where they have mostly yellow jackets. And he had mentioned, I think, that he has like a riding lawnmower, or at least had one because of how much grass he has. And basically riding by, you know, it's set off the nest. So I'm thankful they're paper wasps and not yellow jackets. Like it certainly could be a lot worse. Holy cow, nice. Thank you so much for the 20 gifted memberships, man. Thank you, nice. That is a lot of gifted memberships. Thank you, everybody. Today, you guys have been an awesome today with the support. Thank you, everybody that's been gifted memberships or renewing memberships and stuff like that. Did you see the article I sent you? No. What's the like context or the subject matter? I haven't seen anything, Lisa. I don't know when it was, like if it was now or I can check really. Hold on, let me just see. I won't show it on screen because I don't know what it is, but okay, I don't see anything via DMs. Oh, maybe it's in moderator chat. Oh, cool. 9 ways to get rid of wasps, keep them away from your home. Cool. I will take a look at that. Peppermint is good for mice too. I have heard that about peppermint. Yeah, my father-in-law was saying that, like, could you seal up the retaining wall? And I potentially could. It would be very difficult because of, like, every single block where it meets, there's a small little hole that's plenty big enough for them to crawl into. And I also, like, the whole point of getting this retaining wall put in for the garden was to have it look nice. And I'm like, I don't know what I could seal it with that wouldn't just look like goopy seal, you know? So,
Oh, you're allergic. Wow. Yeah, I'm thankfully don't seem to be allergic. I got stung. That was probably the first time I got stung was in the face. But Ecky's bees knee has, and had been stung multiple times. I've heard that I don't know if it's bees or wasps, but I've heard that you can actually over time become more allergic to them as you get stung more. My mom, and really quick side rant. So my parents have a house here in Idaho, but they have a small cabin in California still. And they bought a tiny plot of land so that way they could have lake rights and use the lake that's basically their cabin is outside of. But because it's in California and California has like pretty wildfire season, anyone that lives in the United States has probably heard about California wildfires. They have to clear their land or the fire marshal will come and they'll get like cited, is my understanding. And so I think that I don't know if it's yearly or every other year that they have to just kind of clear it all out, but almost every time there's wasps, and I have no idea what kind of wasps they are. I know that I think it was not last year, but the year before, my mom was clearing out the land and the wasps, she upset a nest and they chased her all the way. She ran to the car. They chased her inside the car and were stinging her inside the car. And she's gotten stung quite a few times over her life. And it seems like each time she gets stung, that the swelling and stuff is getting much worse. So there must be I've heard more of it. Could put expanding foam in it. That would look so janky, Delmar. That was like when I was talking to my father-in-law, that was like something that came up. And I'm like, oh, it looks so bad. Just like weird, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I have to weigh the pros and cons, and if they end up being aggressive and stinging me a lot or getting jacked, like I might say forget looking pretty. I'm all for function over form, but right now I'd rather not do expanding foam. Okay, let's get this mounted. So this is now going, it looks like on the bottom. Here we go. So if I have the orientation like this, it looks like this is going like this. Cool. Let me get out. So I got to get more screws. These are M35 button heads, so I probably need to take out all the screws again. The worsening stings is common, and expanding foam is good. I think that's what happened to me. I'd been stung multiple times, and the last time, arms swelled up for days. I keep Benadryl around. Yeah, one of my neighbors, I've been talking to everyone about wasps lately that will listen. Like, have you heard the news? But yeah, one of my neighbors was outside the other day, and I was just kind of catching up and talking about wasps, and he said that something like that happened to him where he got stung in the arm some years ago. So M35s is what we need. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna need 2 packs of them. And it just didn't go away for a really, really long time. And because of that, he's got a bit of the fear of them as well, because of the fact that his body reacted so extremely, to the sting. Oh, and I was outside of wasp stuff. The one thing that happened in the garden was when I had spontaneously purchased a bunch of seeds many months ago, right? I didn't have enough time to read all the seed packets and was like, this looks good, like this looks great, like this, got a good variety of things. Well, on the tomatoes, I got 2 varieties. One that said cherry, and I was like, cool, we definitely want a cherry variety. And the other one just said like something sweet, or yeah, something along those lines, like something sweet. And so I've started them all right 2 months ago, and the ones that I thought were big have been growing. The cherry tomatoes aren't looking so hot. The ones that I thought were big are growing and looking beautiful. But then when I finally was like, I should figure out like what variety I actually got, I found out that it's all cherry. Even the one that I thought was not cherry is cherry. So I ran over to, my dad told me, he's like, well, we used to grow Better Boy and Early Girls when you were a kid a lot, and we really like those. So I went and got from the
like the nursery, one of each of those, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have so many cherry tomatoes. So I've been warning all my neighbors, like, hey, I'm gonna be, expect a basket of small tomatoes at some point in the next couple months here. Because my plan was to preserve the large tomatoes that I thought I had 5 or 6 of, you know, like canning them or making sauces and preserving them that way. But with cherry tomatoes, I think it's much more difficult to preserve them just because how small they are. So it's been a lot of lessons learned. As far as reading is really the one of the bigger things here. I know a guy that had MS and doctors said bee stings helped with symptoms. Wow. That's interesting. It sounds awful, but I mean, if it helps, and you know, in that situation, then maybe it's you know, it's the better. But like from outside perspective, like the idea of using bees to sting yourself, like it sounds awful. Make maraschino cherries? What? Maraschino cherries with cherry tomatoes? Okay, I'm trying not to over tighten this and also not put too much force on the thumb. In 15 minutes, we'll open up the giveaway also, everyone. So if someone wants to remind me, in 15 minutes. Okay, that's plenty tight. So moving on to the next one. Yay! Aaron's home. That means food. And that means Jack visit. Oh, I was like, I was like, maybe you know something I don't know. We do have a cherry tree that is like two grafted together. But all of the fruit trees I have are in pots, large pots, but in pots, so they won't get so big. But there are about 20 or so cherries on it. So, I mean, I know that's not a lot, but I'm very excited. Hopefully that, you know, that they turn red. They are growing, it seems like nicely. I did have some pretty aggressive, either aphids or mites, like something on them. But from what I read online, they actually aren't that bad for the plant. Like they'll make a few leaves curl, but other than that, like it's not that bad. So I sprayed them with a little bit of neem oil, I think is what it's called. And it seemed to help a little bit, but I kind of just left them at this point. You can still buy another variety of a bigger plant to match the cherry. Yeah, I could. The issue is with the backyard, maybe I'll just take a photo for you guys so you can see, but like our backyard is fairly big, like by current house standards, but it's really long. It's not wide, it's very long, and it had a big slope, and so the slope is now like that dual retaining wall thing that we had put in, and then you have a grass section with a play place for Jackson, and then an area where I'm hoping to some point in the future put in like a paver patio and have like a eating area. So there's not really a lot of places for big trees at all. I did plant a couple trees in the setback, which the setback is basically a place where the utility company can come in if they wanted to at any point, dig up anything in the setback and not pay for it. Like it's your land, but they have the right to use it if they need to for repairs or anything. So I have planted 2 trees down there that I'm hoping will never get used down there. But because of the retaining wall, and the retaining wall was expensive and it's nice, it's my gardening area, I'm scared to plant big trees because I've seen roots knock out retaining walls. And so that's why they're in like these big, kind of like half, like they're not quite whiskey barrels, but they almost look like whiskey barrels. That's why the trees are inside of those. Jack's here. Jackson? Jackson? What's up, bud? Come here. Come here. Those are gloves. Oh, thank you. These are dirty. Daddy already used these gloves. Hi. Ooh, yum. Oh. He's. Thank you. No. Oh, scissors. That is dangerous. Thank you, bub. Can you say hi, everybody? Did you have fun? Did you have so much fun? How was it? It's super cool. Like worth going back to? Okay. Was it like a, cause you said museum, was it like a kids discovery zone thing? Like, cool. Cool.
I mean, there was like a farm, there was like a Trader Joe's market, there was a veterinarian, there was like a whole dinosaur area. Very, very cool.
Did you get any photos? Okay, cool. I'll look at them after. You're so smart. Are you gonna screw in the screw with the driver? Huh? That is so cool. I'm glad you had fun, bud. That's a little one, huh? That's a Jackson size one. Huh? That's not the right size though. That's a 1.5 and it needs a 2, buddy. Huh? Can you say hi, everybody? Hi. Hello. Dino shirt is awesome. Aaron says hi. I don't know if you guys can hear the mic. Says hi, nice. Hi, Lisa. Get him building his own V0. Do you want to build a 3D printer? Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you had fun, buddy. Did you get to hang out with your friends? Careful, buddy. This is not. Cool. What are you doing, you goofball? Hey, don't press the button. Hey, Daddy. No. Oh, you're gonna go take a nap? You gonna get some water or some milk? Milk? Yeah, with some ice? Kid loves ice. Okay, well, can you say, oh, this is a knife. It shouldn't be by his hands. Yeah. Honey's good for seasonal allergies. We've heard that. When we moved here, yeah, local honey, yeah, and we do have local honey that we've gotten from the farmers market. Aaron.
Tell about my ongoing battle.
Of allergies? No, we were talking about wasps. Yeah. Don't. That's a Sharpie, buddy. That's not like your regular markers. Yeah. Give me a hug and kissy. I love you. Can you say bye-bye, everybody? Well, can you wave to them? Here. Say bye-bye. I love you. I'm glad you had a fun time. Look forward to seeing some photos. Have a good nap. That's all trash, buddy. Can you put it in the trash? It's over there. Daddy just missed the trash. He threw it. Dad, hey, I'll clean it up, buddy. You don't gotta clean it all up. Just leave it for Daddy, okay? He made the mess. He's gotta clean it. Bye-bye, baby. Thank you. All right. All right. How are swimming lessons? They're going really good. So it is. Hold on, they're still going downstairs. In a second here, I'm gonna inhale whatever's in this taco time bag. I don't know if she got tacos or burrito. Well, I think it's a burrito. If it's a burrito, I'm just gonna take it. Yeah, it's a burrito. I'm gonna take a bite right now. So because of his age, the lessons are less swimming and more, well, napkins, and more like getting comfortable with water and the idea of like being in the water, which he loves the water. But I asked about that because I felt like, I was like, every lesson's almost the same lesson here. Like, and we've been going for 2 months now. And I said, like, at what point do they start going through like levels? Because I remember as a kid, I don't know if I took lessons as young as he did, but I went through swim class, and I remember like different levels of swim class as you do like breaststroke and backstroke and floating and treading water and all that stuff. And so yeah, they basically said, I think at 3 is when they start like that level of it. So a lot of it is like getting him practicing kicking his feet, practicing doing this, practicing going underwater, closing his mouth and not taking in water, trying to get him comfortable like floating on his back, which he does not like, which I get. It's awkward laying on the water like that, so he doesn't love that. And then also things like getting to the wall. I mean, he's not swimming to the wall, but like if you put him on the wall, like being able to climb up and get himself out. Like I guess the the reason for that is like if you were to fall in the water and able to get to the wall, like being able to actually get out of the pool. So it's a lot of that, but he really enjoys it. He really enjoys it. He likes the teacher, and like he splashes the teacher and they splash each other. So it's been a lot of fun. It's about making him comfortable and confident with, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But some schools will start swim strokes at 2. Yeah, this one seems to be at 3. But yeah, the primary thing is definitely just like not having fear of the water and getting some of the kind of like basic movements down. So it's going good. I might be taking over. I need to probably order some contacts, but I might be taking over for Erin doing the classes, because as she's getting further along in the pregnancy, it's becoming more difficult. And Jackson, he listens to an extent, but he also can be kind of rough. And I think last week she said that or 2 weeks ago, we didn't go last week because we weren't feeling good. 2 weeks ago, he was like really kind of like hard on her belly, and it was hurting. So we'll see how it goes today. But he really does enjoy it. He really does enjoy it. Yes, Collie. It is a boy house. Erin got a hat that says boy mom. So yeah, we did find out that we had initially speculated it was a girl. Then the doctor did an early ultrasound and said, I'm pretty confident this is a boy. And then we had our like detailed ultrasound, and they confirmed that it is indeed a boy. So we will be 2 boys, and then that'll be it. No more after that. Yeah, so baby number 2, his name will be Landon. First name is Landon, middle name is Oliver. So Landon Oliver and Jackson Alexander. Erin pretty much picked the first name, and I picked Landon. Was a me thing. I liked that it, like Jackson, Landon, I liked that. And then I like Oliver for some reason, but we didn't want to do a first name, so I was like, I like it for a middle name. And I also like that their initials, like Jackson Alexander Gonis, it's Jag. I like that. And Landon Oliver Gonis is Log. And that was not the reason I went with those names, but it certainly was like, if you was extra credit, bonus points, that was it. I don't think so, Rob. The first time my great nephew, oh cool, it's Oliver. Yeah, I like the name Oliver. The first ultrasound that was like the early one, the doctor said, I'm pretty sure it's a boy. It looks like it's too low to be an umbilical cord. And then the second ultrasound, which was like the detailed one, that they did the, like, you know, all of the everything, like fingers, brain, lungs, heart, all the things. That one, they confirmed it. So I feel, I mean, never say never, but I feel pretty confident at this point based off of 2 different doctors' analysis or conclusion that it's probably right. Yeah, Jag and Log. I got a kick out of it. All right, let's tighten up this last one. Then I'll get the giveaway open, take a bite of this burrito, and then we will. I think we're getting really close to mounting these tool heads now. First, we got to plug everything in to the tool head board, and then I think we'll be mounting. So, yep, I'm gonna get the giveaway link open for everybody that is here. If you have not hit the like button, please do. We've got, it's like 112 people and 57 likes. All right, giveaway form is officially in chat. Hidden message, and I'll just change camera for a second here while I have a bite of this. I've never eaten at this place, so let's see if they're good. Not bad. I think it's ground beef. That's amazing. My friend has a wife that's not very pop culture oriented, so he managed to get Charles Xavier Pastor for his son's name. That's incredible. Hey, Marcel. This almost feels like a taco burrito. Like it's got lettuce. It's almost got a little bit of crunch to it too. I wonder if it is supposed to be like a taco burrito, where they like took a taco and shoved it in a burrito. We're just gonna take a few more bites and we'll get back to it. It was really hitting the spot. Okay, so we have brackets. You need to grease the tool plate. Sorry, clown. I know it's maybe lunchtime. Well, I guess depending on where you're at. If you're on the West Coast, it could be lunchtime at 1 o'clock. If you're on the East Coast, it's probably getting towards like early dinner. I mean, 4 o'clock's probably a little early, but. Oh. Well, for Maurice, it's like tea and dessert time at 10 p.m. We usually have dinner at like maybe 7, and then I end up eating around. Hey, Delilah. I end up eating around 11 o'clock again because I'm usually up till 2. Maybe at midnight is more so when I eat. Usually it's like a bowl of cereal or something kind of lighter. $6 a.m. That's breakfast time. All right, it is food time for a lot of people here. All right, so let's start by getting the cable bracket out. So we need cable bracket, and it looks like we need. Let me grab all the things we need. So cable bracket, tool plate, and then I'm just gonna take out probably all the hardware at this point. So let's zoom out a little bit. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Let's move these guys off to the side. Move you over here. So we need this little guy. This is the little tool plate. We gotta add some grease to this. And then we need, it says this is, just wanna make sure that we have the right ones. The only difference I'm seeing, yeah, this is right. Basically, the only difference is this one, like this to this forms a 90 degree. And the one for the orbiter, the arm on this goes up slightly. So that looks correct. And then I guess we'll just take out the printhead fastener stuff. Do you want to go downstairs? Oh, let me let Delilah out. She's looking at me like she's trapped in here. Say, I don't want to be with you. You want to go downstairs, sweet girl? There you go. She's never liked when I stream or record. Just, I don't know if it's that I'm louder than normal, or she's just like, why is he talking to himself? This guy's crazy. I really don't know. She always kind of looks at me weird or bails out. Okay, another one of these. What time is it where you're at, Nice? Is it early or late? I would think it's early probably, but maybe it's late. I should probably start thinking about maybe eating at some point. Yes. Definitely eat. It's close to time for an appointment with a pillow. Wants to sleep. It's too early, man. No, I kind of wish that I was on a better schedule, or that I could change my schedule, but it just seems after so many years of my life that I'm not really a morning person. and I do best at really ridiculously late times. I just have way better focus. But yeah, I just have way better focus at midnight than I do during the day. So I'm able to get a lot of my editing and stuff done when the world is asleep. Or at least, maybe not the world, that's not fair, but when Idaho is asleep. Okay, add some grease to the grooves on the inside of this piece. Use lithium-based grease. It should be easy to source locally. Okay. I guess we might need more gloves here. Multi-purse synthetic. That's what we're gonna use this. That's fine. So yeah, we're gonna use that. And I guess, man, I thought I had enough gloves. I could apply it with something else, but I don't really have a whole lot. Yeah, I think we used the last of my ear swabs or Q-tips last week. So I'll just use probably like my pinky or something to get it in there. Wow. Yeah, I am. Sometimes I don't like that I am because it's not the way I would say it's not as common. And like it would, I mean, there's benefits of it for sure. There's times where it's nice for me and Aaron to be kind of on different schedules for the sake of being able to help each other out, you know, but it also kind of sucks at times where we are on different schedules. So it's kind of, you know, she's ready for bed and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going up, or she's getting up and I'm like, well, I need some more hours. So, okay, it looks like it just needs to be in this little area right here. That looked like that was a lot. So yeah, let me focus. I'll get grease on my lens, making sure I'm using the right fingers. Here we go. So it looks like it mainly wants the grease in these pockets. So like it didn't need to be on the surface here. Maybe I'll take a paper towel at the top, but there's like, if I show this, there's these two sort of pockets right here. And that's where it wants the grease to be. So I'm just going to pull this a little bit tighter on my pinky. And just try to shove it down in there. It's probably plenty. Jackson, you want potty? Yeah, go tell mommy. You're up? Jackson woke up from his nap already because he went potty. You need to... Hold on, y'all. Hey, Daddy's recording. Can you go down? You gotta get mommy. You want me to walk downstairs with you to get mommy? I think he went potty or something. Hold on, I gotta get these gloves off. I'm probably just gonna use a different pair of gloves. Ow! Let me take this off. Okay, we'll go find mommy, bud. I'll be right back, everyone. He did not go potty. He just, it seemed, I don't know if we're hitting like a 2-year sleep regression, but I don't know. He doesn't want to be asleep. Let me grab another pair of gloves. Yeah, we're working on potty training. It's a constant struggle. He's gotten decent at going pee. Not always, for sure. Like sometimes he doesn't care, but he'll let us know quite a bit, and he'll usually do the big toilet or his little, you know, kid toddler toilet. But for not pee, he has yet to still tell us. So he's getting better, I think, but we're definitely like, we've gone around and around a little bit about it. But I do know that once we go full force with it, we have to be super consistent. And my dream was to have him potty trained before, like fully potty trained before baby number 2 is here. So we'll see. That is a lot of grease. I'm gonna take some off. Okay, I think that's plenty. So can I get this onto the part? It takes time, but he'll get there. Yeah, I just, like, it's tough because obviously, like, I want him to be potty trained, and I think that he would want to be potty trained, but at the same time, like, I don't want to rush it. Like, I've seen and heard of the negatives that could happen if you try to aggressively push a child when they're not ready. So it's kind of a balancing act, but I know he'll get there. He's a smart kid, and you know he's making progress in all sorts of places. So we'll get there. Okay, we need M3 by 8mm countersunk bolts and M3 by 6 cap head bolts. So let's get all of these out. Let's see. M310s, no, that's not right. These are M36 cap heads, right? Yep. All right, so we need those. And then countersunk, which are M38s, right? Yep. All right, so those are the 2 we need. I need to get all of them out though, so give me 1 second. Especially during live videos. Yeah, he has made us laugh quite a few times after when we tried potty training, and he just run around with his butt out. I'm like, oh my gosh. Why is there a missing? Uh-oh. Hopefully they gave us extra magnets. I'm not seeing one of them. In the bags here. I'm sure it's around. Probably just stuck. There it is. Yeah, it was just stuck to something. Okay, so one more time. We need M38 countersinks. The M36 caps, yep, and then M38 countersunk, cool. Final bag. Summer helps, yeah. Yeah, I think we need to sort of contain him to like the living room area where it's laminate floors and not the bedroom where it's carpet. And yeah, you're probably right. We just need to pick like a good weekend or something like that where we're gonna start and just be in that room for a lot of it. And you know, every 30 minutes or whatever, just, hey, you gotta sit on the toilet now. And then hopefully that will make it stick. Okay, that's everything. All right, so we got that. We got the cable organizer. A good week. Oh yeah, maybe. So what you're saying is I'm being a little optimistic when I say weekend. At what time will the giveaway close? It'll close in 15 minutes. Approximately 15 minutes. Okay, so it looks like these mount onto, yes. Okay. So we start by getting these guys, and it looks like these mount like this. Probably, right? With the standoffs out. That's what makes sense to me. And these are just what, M3. I might do Loctite for this. Just because it's all aluminum and that's what we've been doing. Yeah, let me get the Loctite in with this. I don't see a reason not to do it at this point. Let me zoom in a little bit too. There we go. Should be fine over a weekend, but I'd still be on the high alert for a week or two after. Yeah, I won't. I won't expect there not to be some speed bumps even after hitting, you know, a good, like consistent run of it. So, where? I guess we can use this. Okay, so this is going through here, into there. Uh-oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. And then orientation-wise, it looks like the grease, it looks like the balls are sticking out like, it looks like it goes like this to me. That can't be right. It has to go like this. Okay, so the balls are sticking outwards. And this is going like this, where the little key slot is horizontal in direction. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, there you go. The little key slot thing is horizontal. And then for these, we need countersunk screws. So let's swap that really quick. These guys. Oh, geez. All right. It's an explosion of countersunk screws. Plus I get to learn this material sooner, which lets me apply it to every day. What did I miss? By taking those 4 classes this summer, I can graduate a semester earlier, so the pain and stuff right now. Oh, nice. What were you majoring in? Was it engineering? I can't remember. Armor. I know you told me when we were talking, I'm pretty sure. When you picked me up from the airport, but I don't remember what you were going for major-wise. Can't remember if it was computer science or engineering. I thought it was one of those two, but I might be wrong. So I think what we'll do is I will get these 3 brackets and tool heads mounted, tool head pieces on. Then it'll probably be about time to do the giveaway. And then after that, we will get these mounted onto the printer. I started with computer engineering, but that didn't last. I switched to management information systems and e-commerce. I'm picking up a minor in marketing. Gotcha, okay. When did you switch? Did you switch? Did you know that you were switching when we had talked? Because I thought that you had said computer engineering when we had talked, whenever that was now. Is it a year? No, not quite a year ago. Maybe 10 months or so ago? Or did you already know that you were switching then? Okay, second one lined up. Okay. All right, come on, cable.
There we go. I decided to switch at the end of, gotcha, okay. Dana, it was computer engineering when we spoke. I didn't switch. Gotcha. Yeah, because I thought, hey Sven.
The reason I remember that was because that's what I was going to school for before I stopped, was computer engineering. So I knew it was something like similar or adjacent to that field. All right, so I said that with these, the ball is facing forward and it's horizontal. Oh, hello. Like that. There we go. Oops, I just realized I'm not in frame. Sorry about that. CTE. I decided that since I want to focus my time and energy on growing armor 3D printing as a business, I should learn how to operate a business, the 3D printing aspect. I think I got it. Gotcha. Did I lose a screw? Maybe I didn't lose it, but maybe it just didn't have as many as I thought it had. Okay. Ba-doom, ba-doom. Oh. I just saw it. Greenbeard said that I've never had a great sleep schedule. My tagline has always been "I'm tired." It feels relatable. All right, last one. It's the final bracket. Get the dog hair off of there. There we go. Okay. Uh-oh. Mr. Mark. There's a handful of things I think I could do to get more consistent sleep, but the issue is because I find that I can focus best and feel like I work best at night, I'm usually working at nights. And so when it comes time to ramp down, I have a hard time like calling it on whatever I'm working on because I like to see things through. So that's the first thing. And then even if I do call it, physically, mentally, I have a hard time disconnecting from whatever it is I was working on. And so I think that if I didn't find myself to be so productive at night, and I could just sort of like do activities for a few hours, or at least an hour or two prior to bed, that were non-stimulating, which is difficult in itself because I do find a lot of things really interesting. But like, let's say I watched just like some casual sitcom for like an hour and then went to bed. That could possibly work. But I just don't do that. I end up working on stuff or researching stuff or watching information on things that I find really interesting, and winding down from that just sucks. That's not always the case. There's times where I just straight up go to bed and my mind just starts going about all sorts of things, and it's like a paradox of like trying to convince myself not to think about it, because the more I try to not think about it, the more I find myself thinking about whatever it is. It's just ADHD. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that aspect of it sucks. I do like when I can focus really well and knock out stuff where I'm like, oh my god, I just did so much. But a lot of the times it feels like I'm trying to like, a lot of the times it feels like there's like a circus juggling things going on in my mind where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't just stay on this specific task. I have to go around the entire task and then go back to the task. So it's been a struggle. I make it work. I feel like I make it work. I'm sure I could be doing a better job, but I get things done, not as quickly or efficiently as I'd always like to, but everyone's got their things. Everyone's got their things. All right, last screw. Also, we are going to be closing the giveaway in 3 or 4 minutes, so if you want to enter into the Polymaker filament giveaway, it is pinned in chat. So do so now. Enter now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Give me my driver. Squirrel. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. It is fun, like, not being able to focus, but like the fact that I feel so like stimulated or fascinated about so many different things, like I do like that. It makes like, although it can make things kind of chaotic, it also feels like it makes things really exciting to me. But there's definitely trade-offs. I put in my losing entry. Deanna, well, your day will come. I don't know when it will be, but your day will come. I'm gonna finish this burrito for 2 minutes here while we wait for this. Looks like the next steps are plugging in the wiring, and then we're basically attaching it to the printer. So we're getting there. ADOS, attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. Want this in a boron 2.4? I think the closest thing would be like stealth or tap changer, probably. Does anybody know? I know a few people that were here were at Rocky Mountain. I saw LDO posted on Twitter or X that they were at least making CNC brackets for stealth changer or tap changer. I don't know which one it was, but do we know if they're making a full kit for stealth changer, or is it kind of going to be a la carte where you order all the different parts that you want, you know, whatever extruder, whatever hot ends, and then they just sell sort of these CNC brackets? I'm just curious. I didn't see, LDO posted quite a bit of stuff, but I didn't see specifics about the 2.4 tool changer CNC parts that they were showing off at Rocky Mountain. Hey, our loves, are you going to be playing around with the INDX when it's released? I would like to. It depends on probably one, budget in that moment. I don't know when it's releasing, and like with Kiddo coming, I'm trying to put aside a little bit of money because we have insurance, but the medical bills still are going to add up. And then It depends if I have a printer that it would make sense for it to go on. Right now, the machine I'm thinking I'm probably wanting to put it on is going to be the Monster FiSec printer that we're going to be building. That's just huge. The 600 by 600 by 600 build volume. I think it's like 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. Originally, I was thinking it would be nice to do an IDEX on that machine, but I think it'd be cool. Like, I mean, you'd be able to fit probably a ridiculous amount of tool heads on that thing just because of how big of an area it is in the extrusions. But I think I could see value in having like a really big nozzle, maybe a little bit smaller nozzle, and then other materials and stuff like that. So that's probably what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Oh, INDX is likely November. Cool. Okay. Well, that's good. That's later than I was expecting. I had no idea, but for some reason I thought it was in the next couple months. So November, baby's due in September, beginning of September. So yeah, we'll see. It just definitely depends on. I would like to. Like, it is the plan. I leave it at that. I don't have all the details hammered out yet, or very much details, but I'm interested in it. I think there's a lot of interest in it. I'd like to cover it. I just don't know the specifics of what I would get, what machine exactly would go on. But right now I'm thinking that big monster machine probably is what I would do. I'd love to stay and hang out, but I really need to finish these. Yeah, get your school done, man. Class ends on Friday. Dude, get your stuff done. Thanks for hanging out as much as you did. I appreciate it. Hey, Zombie. Happy Wednesday. All right. Zombie, before I close the giveaway, did you want to get your entry in for a spool of Polymaker filament? No, I'm going to close right now. 2 more bites of this burrito. I lied. A couple more bites. Okay, it's still in active development. They want it more streamlined. I'm in the ballot for the beta, but I haven't heard anything yet. Got it. I haven't kept up to date on it at all. I know that everyone's really excited about it, and I've seen some like stuff on it. I think it looks great. But yeah, as far as details outside of that, I figured I'll know when it's shared. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. All right, let's do this. You're going to Murph, right, Zombie? I think you were one of the people that I saw post. I thought I saw you post something about Murph. Okay, I am unpinning the message. If you're filling out the form, you've got another 60 seconds, and then we are going to be doing our drawing. We've currently got, how many entries? 90 entries, very nice. 70 likes. Can we hit 80 likes? Can we hit 80 likes? I think we can. Yeah, I'm not, man. I'd love to. We were talking, the reason why I came up is, or the reason I'm asking, is we were talking a bit about it earlier. And it's the one, it's the event I've gone to the most out of any. Not by a lot. I think I've only gone twice, but I haven't repeated any event other than Murph as far as Rep Rap Fest go. But I just was saying that, like, I really like it. It's smaller. It's changed a lot since the first year I went in 2018. It's not as easy to get to, but I don't know. It's the original one. I like how sort of casual it is. It's always fun going over to like Goshen Brewery and hanging out with everyone. Like, I don't know. I like it. It's a fun event. Yeah, it's a hangout. It's like a hangout and party show. Totally. Yeah, it's way less structured, but I like it for that. Like it's got its own sort of character. Yeah, it's character. It's got its own. I don't know if that's the word. Characteristics. I don't know, man. But I do like that it's real casual. Okay, let's do this. So there is officially now 91 responses, and we did hit 80 likes. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. So let's do this. I don't actually have to download the form because it's not over 100 entries today. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty, here we are. Here we are. Also, side note, has anyone tried an Infinity Flow? I've been getting ads on Instagram for Infinity Flow for a long time. It's gone, Red Apples. Sorry. The ad I keep getting, maybe you guys have seen it too, but it's like someone barbecuing with their printer beside them, and it says something along the lines of like, I don't know. It's like really silly though. Like the extreme example of someone barbecuing with their printer and needs to change the spool. I have not used it. I've like clicked on it and looked at it because I keep getting this silly ad. I'm like, all right, I'll look at what is this thing. Alrighty, let's do this. So for anyone that hasn't been here for one of these giveaways before, this is for a Polymaker gift card. Giveaway is good for anywhere in the world. I will end up emailing the winner within 24 hours, usually same day. And the email will contain, just be on the lookout for it, but a form and a unique ID that you'll need to enter into that form. And then, yeah, Polymaker will end up getting you your, sorry, I was making sure that Zombie wasn't saying something about the giveaway. And then Polymaker will end up getting you your gift card. So thank you to Polymaker for allowing us to do these giveaways. And if you do want to support the channel, there is a link in the description to Polymaker's website. Anything you purchase, it doesn't increase the cost, but Polymaker does give a kickback to the channel. So it definitely helps support the channel. A lot of people are using it. And so I know I sound probably a bit like a broken record saying it every week, but I do want to state for those that are using it that it is appreciated and it definitely does help out. So outside of North Carolina, you pick a SKU on the value of $35. Oh, really? I thought they changed it to gift card everywhere now. Zombie, do you know if that's true? I feel like Zombie has, like, zombies are in. Do you know if it's true outside of North America? It's a $35 value SKU. I thought that I had heard last that they had changed it to all gift cards. I can never get that right because it's changed quite a few times over the last 2 years. I can confirm with Down Under Extruder. Okay, you have to pick a spool, $35 value. Got it. So it's NA is a gift card. So US, Canada. I got a SKU email a few weeks ago. Okay. All right. Well, I stand corrected. Gift card is if you're in, I think I read North America, and then everywhere else it's any SKU up to $35. So it's a pretty large selection of materials. You're in Belgium, gotcha. They then ship the spool since there is no. Oh, got it. Got it. So if you got a gift card, you would. Okay, that makes sense then. All right, let's do this. Let's see, how many times are we shuffling today? Let's get some numbers in chat. The number 3 is in my head for some reason, probably because there's 3 tool heads on this machine, but 7s, we got 2 7s back to back. Deanna says 4. Ew, 7 minus 4 is 3. Dude, I think we gotta shuffle 3 times today. I feel like it needs to be 3. I'm not doing 300, hobo. I'm not doing 300. My fingers. Marcel spams 8. Let's do. Dude, we're doing 3, man. I feel like we always do big numbers. There's 3 tool heads. Someone said 7. I think Deanna said 4. We're subtracting 4 from 7 to give us our 3. We're doing 3. We'll do 3 today. All right. Here we go, everyone. Good luck to all of you. In 3, 2, 1. The GPs. That's familiar. Have you won before, GPs? I don't know that you have. I know that I had sent you the extruder like a long time ago, but I don't know that you've actually won. I don't remember contacting you for a filament giveaway. Congratulations to our GPs, our local, I can't talk today. Congratulations, GPs. Do you have a preference on me emailing you versus Discord messaging you? I know that I've messaged you on Discord. It's probably been a long time, but I know you're active on Discord. So if you're fine with Discord, I might just send you a Discord message instead of doing an email. Could I give the win to Tuxedo? I can. You sure?
You guys gotta let me know, man. Is it going to Tuxedo or is it going to GP's? It's very nice of you. He never wins, please. Zombies not happening, man. Not zombie. I'll let. I mean, Tuxedo, I know you're saying no, but if GP's is saying that's what he wants to do, you sure that's what you want to do, GP's? Speak now. Speak now, and I will, you know, I'll honor that. Tuxedo says you won fair and square. Tuxedo doesn't want it. Nice doesn't want it. Please give it Tuxedo. Oh man. I don't know. I've never had a situation where someone wants to give something away, but the receiver doesn't want to receive it. This is uncharted territory for me. Tuxedo wants to wait till he wins it for real someday. GPs. It's yours, GPs. I'm gonna give it to you. And if you talk to Tuxedo and end up doing something where you get his shipping info or whatever, that's fine. But I'm gonna give it to you at least as a starting point. Yeah, cool. Let's do that. That was very nice of you though, GPs. I appreciate you wanting to do that. But Tuxedo says no. The rules are the rules. So awesome. Yeah, thank you to Polymaker. That threw me. That's the first time we've done a lot of giveaways, and I don't know that's ever happened here. So that's very kind. Thank you to Polymaker for letting us do these giveaways, and you know, also everyone for entering in. And we will do this. We'll do this again next week. So let's get back to the task at hand, which is just doing the quick little wiring of a few things here, and then we will get this mounted on the machine, and then we'll probably call it so I can just rest my thumb for a little while. Let's go ahead and move these over here. Definitely some very, very nice people. Lots of very nice people. I often, like, I have to remind myself, not often, but like I get plenty of unkind comments, and I see all sorts of unkind things in the 3D printing space. I see it all over, right? It's not unique to any specific hobby or you know, like niche. Everyone has them, but I have to sometimes remind myself that it's the loud minority that are the ones that are doing that. There's way more good, kind people than there are unkind, mean people that just want to watch the world burn, basically. So it is really refreshing getting to hang out. The streams have always been a place where I feel like everyone here has been really respectful of each other. I mean, I'm sure if I went back, there's been a few one-off situations, but generally speaking, it's been really refreshing hanging out with everyone and having everyone just be kind to each other. Like, you don't have to agree on a thing. Like, I'm sure I don't agree with lots of what you guys think, and that's totally fine. But it doesn't mean we have to be like bad to each other for it, you know? It's just a difference of opinions. So after running the tool head to the back of the extruder, I'm getting back into this, but it is most people are. It's the loud few that can really poo-poo it for everyone else. After running the tool board to the back of the extruder, connect the cables as shown. Okay, so it looks like we are going. Stop it down under the pineapple debate. Oh yeah, the pineapple debate has been very civil. What was that? That was really loud. Hold on, just want to make sure. It's UPS. There's like something loud outside the house. Okay, so looking at board. I don't know how much it matters how I route things right now, but I'm going to line up orientation. So
It looks like stepper motor is right here. Like this. Let's twist this a little bit. I don't normally twist. I also don't want to over twist because it definitely can make the... That looks good. Okay, that's in. Next up, we have got this guy, which is just going... What is this? Okay, so this is going like this. Also, Zombie, if you're still here, I saw that you were tackling the... Sorry, dog making weird sound outside of my door. I saw that you were tackling the black box again. Did you make any good progress on it? Okay, so this is going... Dude, the dogs are really scratching out there. Okay, that goes like that, and this goes... This one looks like it's supposed to go over the top here. It's a little bit awkward of a bend. There we go. Nope, don't you dare. Don't you dare pop out on me. Come on. This connector is the same connector that's on the underside of this. It's kind of a really tough connector. It requires more force than I'm used to. I don't want to push too hard because the board's not really supported right here. Lovely. There we go. Wiggle it back and forth a few times. That looks like it's probably fully seated.
Okay, nice. Let's see. I just put it back on the I need to re-level the bed and redo all the tool docks, and maybe not at 1 a.m. Gotcha. But you think you got the, like, most of the firmware stuff figured out now? Okay, so this says after mounting. Yeah, this looks right. We did this right. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat this 2 more times. So this just, we twisted this guy, I think 1 time. Plug you in, right. That feels like maybe too much twist, maybe not. Okay, like so. Then this guy's what we did next. And this one went like this. Like that. Then this one, okay, I think it went like that actually. And then this one went underneath here, like this. But not before this guy popped up like this and went right here. Okay. Wow, yeah, it's not, I don't think it's me. If anyone builds one of these or gets an Orbiter 3, tell me if these cables require a little bit more force than you're used to get in. It's not all of them, it's the specific, like, one that has a bar on it. Okay, 2 down, 1 to go. Gotta go, guys and gals. Hey, Marcel, sounds great. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I think so, still a bit to learn. I'm working on the Twisted T to test some parts in the meantime. The Twisted T is the one that you had built that had, it was sort of like a Trident, but mini with the sidecar, or the side box, right? I think that's what that one was. If so, that's probably one of my favorite ones that you've built. I just really like it for some reason. Okay, I don't think I'm going to twist this anymore because it's already kind of twisted. And then this is plugging in right here, like so. Okay, and then it kind of bends back like that, maybe. This goes underneath. It's a fast machine, neglected.
Well, you've been working on a bunch of other stuff, so I feel like you had it in a really good place, though. It seemed like for a while, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like for a while, like you were just printing out a bunch of stuff on it, but it would have been
quite a long time ago at this point.
okay. So these are at least assembled. Make sure you don't have any wires popping out, but I'm gonna have to do some cable management on these.
It was good until I started. Yeah, it sounds funny to hear that, but like it's the truth for so many people, myself included. I've had plenty of machines where like, yeah, it works fine, but I'm gonna do this one thing to it, or this, you know, I want to do these, I'm bored of it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I can't even get it back to where it was. Using cable ties to secure the cables as shown, set the hot end angle as shown. Okay, so it looks like
it wants us to basically
set the hot end angle as shown.
okay, we already had done that.
The thing I'm not really sure about is there's this big sensor cable right here. So it looks like it has this zip tied to this, and then they all zip tie together right there. So
Did they give us zip ties? I assume they did. Yeah, they did. So let's say, let's grab a stack. Okay, so looks like it wants this and this. It's a lot of cables. Okay, so it looks like right about where the motor starts, like right around here, is where it wants us to do the first one. Let's give a little bit of slack. Maybe that's too much slack. Okay, and then the second one looks like is right about where the PCB is. It's right about here. It's still on the whites.
Have you used an orbiter toilet before? They look nice and compact. Yes, so I haven't used this one, the Orbiter 3, but I am running the Orbiter 2 on my I'm getting worse at remembering names of things. Come on, man. One sec. I'm just gonna, I don't even want to ask. I don't want to even ask. I'm gonna find it on my own. Mercury 1. My Mercury 1 is running it. Yeah, I've been running one on the Mercury 1. I really like it. It's actually, it has been one of my favorite extruders for quite a long time. I just feel like price to performance, it's rock solid. And I really liked the sort of like smart sensor with the macro
This has it built into it, but on the other one you had to add on this. I think it was like an MJF printed part. But you have this guy, which I don't know if it's full RGB, but it definitely does like green, yellow, red, and so that gives you certain statuses, which is kind of cool. And there's also a button right here that you can set up. There it is. You can set up with macros to where, like, okay, if it's not loaded with anything, press it, it'll heat up the hot end and extrude X amount. Or if it is loaded, you can press that button and it'll raise it to a certain temp and remove it. Like, it's, yeah, I really like it. I mean, that's just a small detail of it, but the performance was really good. I've got nothing bad to say about that extruder. I still think to this day, and I put it on there a couple years ago now. I still think to this day it's a fantastic option. Hopefully that's fine. This is kind of a... I don't want to pull too much because these are kind of stiff, these heat shrinks on here, so hopefully it's fine like that. The nozzle, let me turn this little cable thing so it's not facing towards the bottom. Cool. Yeah, should be plenty of clearance on this guy, so. I was surprised. I probably was not entirely sure how you would mount it to an MGN 12 though. Wait, you mean, so on the Orbiter V2, it's not an all-in-one. It's just the extruder. So you can mount it on pretty much any tool head that has top-down mounting, because the holes are like off to the side of it on the Orbiter V2. On the Orbiter V3, it's a different scenario, as you can see, because it's an all-in-one, right? But yeah, the Orbiter V2 is what I've got experience with. The V3, I've had one for a long time, just sitting in my closet, kind of waiting for a build for it. I just haven't had one where it made sense. Orbiter is in the Galileo too. I don't know that it's in the Galileo, but I think that it's the same gearing. It's the same planetary gear system. It's similar to... Similar to this guy. So this is the Cyclops that I was running inside of my K1 Max, and it's got the Orbiter's planetary gear system, or planetary gear setup, and the like CNC post in it as well. So it's the basis for quite a few different extruders. I am a fan. I am really a fan. If you couldn't tell. I'm debating between an Orbiter and a V2 Hexor for the Twisted Tea. I don't have experience with the extruder. Wait, oh, the VZ extruder. No, I do have experience with that. Not as much though. I assume it's heavier, right? I don't know how much it really matters, but the Hevort is a CNC extruder from what I've seen versus injection molded. It probably doesn't make much of a difference, but yeah, it's really light. That's good news, and now you're the proud owner of many. Yeah, I like the decision for the hardware that they went with on this. I feel like this is a good toolhead option. Like, I think it's a good toolhead option that doesn't require you having to build a complete toolhead, right? Like, I'm sure there's quite a few different toolheads out there that are like super customized for maybe tool changing or specific things, but you would have to build out each toolhead, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But I think that this is sort of a like gives you a bit of a jump start by not having to do that stuff. Wait, what's crazy light? A zombie? The Hevort or the orbiter? I don't know if that which one that's in. Which one you were referencing when you said that? I really wish that these sleeves weren't on here. It's making these so stiff. Like it could be, I mean, I could cut them off, I guess. Maybe that's what I'll end up doing, because it would allow me to like tuck these a little bit nicer and zip tie them. I'll leave them for now, but it would definitely clean them up if you didn't have them on there. That one I don't really want to move. Okay. 2 down, 1 to go. Oh, the Hexort. Interesting. I'm a huge fan of pre-built extruders. Yeah. It's true. It's fun building stuff, but there's no denying that when you're building things and when you're printing parts and when you're using different materials, like, there's just a lot more variables at play. It's certainly a trade-off. I mean, don't get me wrong, there could be issues with factory purchased extruders as well, but I tend to believe it's a lot less than doing it yourself. When I rebuilt my Jubilee, I did some custom designs, so I ended up building about 7 tool heads before I got... Wow. I feel like I maybe am goofing by not giving these these cables underneath here. I really don't want them to pull out. They seem okay. They seem okay. That's the only weird thing I feel about this one. There's this data cable that pops out the bottom, and it's just it's an odd place for such a wide cable to be sticking out. You know what? No, sorry. I'm going to redo 3 zip ties. I want to give those a little bit of slack. This is the cable that's pulling it, and I can see that potentially causing an issue. So before I tighten these, I just need to... this one looks okay. Yeah, this one's fine. So 2 of them, I guess, not 3. So as long as I push, yeah, we'll just push forward on this. Still don't think that's great, but I think it's better than how I had it before, so time will tell. Also, that could be why those connectors are kind of tricky to get in, or not tricky, but require a bit more oomph to get in, is because they know there's going to be potentially some tug on them, and so it's to keep them from wanting to pop out. Although I don't know if that's great either, because I would think that that could damage the cables. Yeah, I still don't know if it's great, but we're moving forward. Yeah, I probably could do a little bit of, like, if you look at it from the side, hold on. I mean, it's got clearance. I would like if I twist this to that side, that gives me a little bit more clearance. It's probably not that bad, right? Especially now that I've kind of bent it up a bit. This I would like to correct. I'm tempted to cut the heat shrink off of here to make this more flexible, and then I could probably route it up here and zip tie it around this bunch of wires. Let's do that really quick. Let's try it with one and see how it works. I want to be careful not to not to damage anything. I think maybe if I use an X-Acto knife. I don't know if this is the way. It might be better with flush cutters. I'm not even sure this is a good idea. I just don't really love the way that these wires are sitting. It does have the serial number on here, but can I just pull this? There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I definitely like that better. I don't know if it's necessary for the... Yeah, I don't... Okay, so you don't even have to take off the heat shrink from the thermistor because the wires are so thin it doesn't have as much of an impact. But if you take off the one from the heating element, and I don't think I will tie this around the smaller cable because that seems like it could put strain on it. So let's try it like this. Yeah, I definitely like that better. So look, this is what it was like because of that heat shrink, and now that I removed that one heat shrink, it gives us a much tighter bundle of wires. I like this much better. I'm gonna do the same for the other two, but just so you can see the difference, it's quite substantial. I mean, this doesn't look good, but looks aside, it's more about concern on catching on something by having a wire sticking out that far. So we'll do the same thing, and it does look like you don't actually even have to remove the thermistor one, so it's just the heater wires because it's just such a stiff it's such a stiff one. It's such a stiff heat shrink. I feel like I'm starting to crash. Might be a coffee in my future after this. And it looks like if you just snip it a little bit, you can kind of just pull the wires and it will... You can pull the wires and it will tear the heat shrink for you. Come on, baby. There we go. Looks a lot cleaner. I think the new one will be less like... I agree. Yeah, like it probably is fine to just leave it as it is. But I think this is better. I think this is better. Cleaner wires is usually not a bad thing. So, okay, we got 2 down. I mean, just like one last time for anyone that didn't see it, like these are the 2 that have the heat shrink removed. So that way I was able to add a zip tie and kind of tighten up the filament path. No, I'm sorry, not filament path. Tighten up the wire path. And this is it with it sticking out. It's these 2 white wires. They stick out quite a bit further, and I can see as this thing's moving, potentially it hooking on something in the future. So. Okay, so last one. All I need to do is grab a zip tie. Maybe? Yep. Okay, zip tie. It feels, I don't know if he's still watching. He's probably at work or coming home from work, but it feels like if I asked myself what would Steve do, that he would do this. He would spend the time and tighten up the wires. It's very not like me. Normally I'm like, it's good enough, send it, but I feel like Steve would nod at the cleaning up the wiring. Okay, done. Final zip tie. I mean, another thing that probably could make this less of an issue is if they went with a different heat shrink. Like the heat shrink just seems very, there's different thicknesses of heat shrink, and since this is just a label, they could go with a much finer heat sink. God, I can't talk it. I'm losing it. They can go with a much finer heat shrink label, and that would allow it to bend easier, because that's really the only issue, is that it's too thick, so it's causing the wires not to be able to bend. So that's plenty good. I think that looks much more. This is a new for me, this XP thing. What is the meaning? I don't know exactly. Nice. It is a fairly recent thing. I happened to see it on Steve's stream on Sunday and wasn't sure if it would be on ours, but it's just an XP thing. So like if you click on anyone's, I don't know how to access the leaderboard. Wait, is it the top right? Oh, okay. So if you click on community at the top right of chat, or if you click on any of the 3 names of the people that are in like 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, it opens up a tab and there's XP beside them. And I think that pretty much anything you do gives you XP. So like typing in chat is XP. I'm pretty sure that like memberships and donations are XP, but I don't have much info. Let me see, does it say right here? Community leaderboards. What's leaderboard? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? Send live chat messages, send super chats, and super stickers. That's all. So I don't know if they're planning on doing more with it or not. I don't seem to have any control over it as of right now. I don't dislike it, but it would be fun if there was more to it. No. Okay. So, chat. Zombie, 34 freaking months. That's crazy. Thank you very much, Zombie, for all the continued support, man. No Mario music this week? Wait. Did we not already play it? What the heck? I thought that I put it on. Can you hear it now? I must have clicked on the wrong playlist or something. Zombie with the banana! Yeah, I thought that I put it on earlier, but I must have made a whoopsie. Okay, so it looks like it wants us to just plug in, attach the USB cable. So it seems like it wants us to just plug in a USB cable. Let me move the Loctite. Put it here for now. Sorry about that. No one mentioned anything. I thought that it was playing and that I just had it low so I couldn't hear something like that. Earlier, I don't know what point in the stream, but earlier in the stream I said I'm gonna turn it up a little bit and go crazy, and that was me, like, that was me thinking I was putting on the 8-bit music. Clearly not. Wait, was one of these? What the heck? Was this missing? Huh. It looks like they forgot to include a USB-C cable. Unless it already went out somewhere else. The first box, there's a USB-C cable right there. There's none from the other Nighthawk. I'm sure I've got a spare, but that's a little odd. That is weird that gifted memberships don't do it. Yeah, it feels like it should be any of those things, right? Like gifted memberships, renewing a membership, becoming a member, super chat, and chat. Like I would think all those things could do it. So I don't know. It's new. I'm hoping that they make some changes as time goes on, but I don't know. Oh, you can turn it off, Greenbeard? I didn't know that you even could turn it off, like on a person-by-person basis. Alright, we are plugging you in like so. Plugging you in. In privacy settings. Okay, so we got our USB cables. Now it looks like it wants us to attach cable tie, the nylon cable guide. Okay, so that's these guys. I have no idea how this is supposed to go though. Like, maybe we'll attach this after, because I don't know if I need it, like, which direction that's supposed to go. Yeah, let's take the machine out now. Oops. Give me 1 second, just so I can grab the printer. Oop. Okay, my back. Oh, it's not that bad, but it's also not that great. Trying to think of how the heck I'm even gonna be able to show what I'm doing here. What is this cable? Oh, that's from the bed. I wonder. Set it here for a second. So I think most of what I'm doing is going to be on the inside left. So I wonder if I turn this like this. Let's see. Only way I found out is you delete your account. No way I'm doing that. Is the bed level? Yes. It is level. It is trimmed. It is adjacent. It is linear. Okay. So hopefully this angle will, at least, it's not going to be great, y'all. The lighting and stuff from the back side is not the business, but I think that'll work. Whoa. Whoa, what happened? That's even worse than I was expecting. There we go. Stop spinning, please. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. So, we are, we need docking pins. I'm gonna start by moving a few things around here. Place the tool heads underneath the bed. Fasten the fixings for the stage can be found. Fix the docking to the 2 docking pins. M3 by 10s, okay. If you're building the Revo version of the print head, fix them to the, wait, if you're building the Revo version of the print head, fix the pins, so we're doing bottom holes. We're not doing the Revo version of the tool head. Okay, and I have 2 of these, and then M3 10s. M3 10s. Okay. Upper, so we're doing lower holes. Alright, so I am going to... Where the hell? Where the hell is my driver? There we go. Okay, so one more time. Lower holes. Lower holes for me. Oh. Should I Loctite these? Maybe? I don't... We probably should Loctite these, huh? It's probably not a bad idea, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's do that. Where did I put my... Okay. I don't find it on the mobile app. 7-hour print wasted because part came off the bed and bird's nest stuck. Oh no. That's the worst thing about a part failing on a plate with multiple parts is usually the crap that strings off of it, or the like air printing bits of it from the part that failed, ends up making everything else either look really bad or fail altogether. Okay, I'm 99% sure I'm supposed to go on the lower holes. So that's what I'm doing. Boop. Okay, there's those two. I'm definitely going to be doing some organizing after after this stream. Okay, two more. Ba-doom, ba-doom. For some reason I got Pink Panther stuck in my head. I have not watched Pink Panther in a really long time. Oop. On the plus side, I found a peculiarity in the supersized beta to report back. Nice. Are you using that with Orca, or are you just using the Super Slicer Beta? I don't remember. I don't know if you don't like Orca Slicer or if you do like it and just wanted to play around with different slicer as well. Okay. Orca, yeah, I like Orca a lot. Might have found a Orca, no bamboo to need it. Got it. Yeah, I like Orca a lot, but I mean, to each their own. Whatever works. I mean, at the end of the day, they all serve the same common goal, which is to take a file and convert it into G-code. I stepped out to get Tiny Bike hardware. What did you miss? We basically finished building all the tool heads. They all look like, well, let me zoom out a little bit. You can't see this. That's the wrong way. So yeah, all the tool heads are assembled and wired and pretty much cable managed. So now we are just installing the docking pins, and hopefully in a second here, we will be installing the tool heads onto their docking pins. That's kind of the final thing of what I'd like to get done today. But yeah, no buts, I guess. I do need to, these pins don't really have an easy way to grip and tighten down, so I'm going to try using these little Nipix pliers. I don't want to grip them too hard because of my sweet, sweet thumb. But let's see if I can do that. I think it's spinning on me. Okay, that seems plenty tight. Hopefully I'm not damaging them. Well, I don't think I am. There's no teeth on these Nipix pliers, so as long as I don't bend them on accident. Ah! Wait, what bit? You missed the epic battle between Tuxedo? Oh, yeah, that was epic battle. They like stunned me. If I was a Pokemon, I was stunned. DP's won, and then wanted to give it so much to Tuxedo, but Tuxedo kindly declined. And so there was a moment of, I'm like, what do I do right now? Like, I'm not sure what the correct move is here. You said you went to the tiny bike store? I feel like it sounds like it's code for something, but like maybe it's not. Is it actually you went to the bike store? I don't know what it would be code for, but it sounds like it would be code for something. Just in time though, the skies just opened up. And it's raining. Oh, it's raining? Wow. I wish we got some rain. Okay, so the pins are installed. I think the next thing I need to install is the magnets. Magnets! Let's see. So those we did. Those we did. Those we did. docking magnet. So for these, we want the magnet itself. You know what? Even though I think I lost one of the magnet packs, it looks like they gave us enough extras to where it doesn't matter, which is excellent. And then we need M3x8 countersunk. Repeat this across docking. So are these just going into... These are threading directly into... Interesting. Okay. M3x8 countersunks. Do I have M3x8 countersunks still available to me? Pretty sure I opened up all of these. M3.6s, M3.10s, M3.5s. I have a feeling they're laying here somewhere. I definitely need to do some cleaning after this. Kind of regroup. I don't know where these screws are. Cap screws. Countersunk, M3.8s. Yeah. Got them. Okay. Got it. Now it looks like for this one, is it threaded? I think it is threaded. I am going to use Loctite on these. I'm scared to strip these, so I probably won't go quite as hard, just because this is in the sheet metal. It's thicker than what we had before when we ran into an issue, but I'm still got a little bit of PTSD, I think, from that. Here we go. Oh, I didn't change the whoopsies. There we go. Okay. With my comment, I received 25 XP. We've had 4-inch rain in 3 days. That's like a few months worth here. And we haven't had much rain as of late, and I don't think I saw any in the forecast. I really like the rain, and it's good for the garden, so I would not be upset to have some rain. Okay, so this is going like that. Great. I'm scared because of the Loctite. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I think that's... Ow, my thumb! Ow, that was too tight. I think that's probably plenty tight. Okay, so let's just do that 2 more times. Always be don't tighten with, don't use Allen wrench, use a driver. Yeah, only tighten with your fingertips, not your palms. This is good advice. Why is it that sheet metal, strips so easy? Like, even if you had a thicker piece of sheet metal, like, why is that the case? I don't really know the manufacturing process behind sheet metal. Oh, I don't want to give you guys the bow shot. There we go. Like, for the thin stuff, I get it. But for the thicker stuff, I don't understand why. I just logged into my AliExpress account to add some stuff and found out my wife used my all my affiliate link credits buying kids stuff. No. But happy kids. Oh, I found the missing magnets. They were stuck to the magnets. Go figure. I didn't realize that there was 4 there. It's the case. The thicker stuff is more sturdy, but got it. Okay. Guessing, but does rolling sheet do something Does rolling sheet do something crystalline structure? Gotcha. Is that... Does sheet metal come... I don't actually even know. Does sheet metal come on some kind of a big roll? Because they normally stretch the steel to make the hole, and that weakens the material and makes it thinner. Got it. Yeah, I know surprisingly little about sheet metal, actually. I probably should do some more research into just sheet metal manufacturing process, characteristics of it. I'm gonna move my arm in just a sec for y'all. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Okay, really quick, grab this with my fingers. That's as tight as we're going. Alright, I'm calling that good. So that was what we were supposed to do earlier that we did not do. Okay, then the next thing is we need M440s. Okay. M440s. I got 2 of them right here. I need this guy. I need this guy. We are getting low on parts in our toolhead bags, and that feels good. All right. So fix onto the docking bracket a silicone dock. Huh, that's all it says. Fix onto the docking bracket a silicone. Orientation, does that matter? It sure looks like... Okay, so it looks like the little groovy guy is facing upwards, so we'll match that. I'm assuming this is maybe for, this must be for the filament leaking from the nozzle, like when it parks. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. You go there, you go there. You go there. You guys are bad, man. you guys are bad. I want less metal and more threads. Screw reality. Like says, all about thickness. All right. So for this one, it looks like we are taking this, I put some Loctite on it as well, shoving it through here, and then it is going into there. Is it a 2.5 millimeter? I kind of think it should be. Seems right. There we go. I'm just gonna do my, it's hard to see whether it's straight or not from that angle. Let me look at it. Oops. Let me look at it from here. It is definitely not straight. That is absolutely at an angle. Probably doesn't matter all that much for the purpose it serves, but if I could kind of keep it straight. I'm also, oh wow, it's compressing, which makes sense because it's just silicone. I don't know how tight should it be? It's just popping out the back now. I don't want to damage it. I mean, is it just supposed to go flush, maybe? I have no idea on this part. So that seems too loose. That seems maybe okay. I guess I could always adjust these later, right? They're just intended. The silicone compresses very easily, and I imagine I'm not supposed to, like, I wouldn't think I would want to go much beyond the point of it not really rotating on its own, which seems like that's about right. So we'll stick with that. It's probably not that big of a deal. Kids awake, bye everyone. Hey, thanks for hanging out down under. Have a great day, and I will hopefully catch you next week. my arm's gonna block you guys again. Yeah, I'm not really sure how far out this is supposed to go, but I'm just gonna try to kind of match the thread count a little bit. Maybe a little bit more than that. Seems about close to where, yeah. We'll call that good enough. It feels like it could benefit from a nut on the outside. Possibly. I guess not, it's threaded, so it doesn't make sense. What do I mean? Okay. One more! The geek is strong with this one. Boop. Boop. Okay. Okay, that feels about right. I think we're gonna just leave this all. I could probably, yeah, I have no idea. There's no instruction other than attach them, and I can tighten them way further, but at some point it'll tear the silicone, and the whole point of this, I think, is to catch ooze, so I don't anticipate it's gonna be under a lot of force, other than maybe the very edge here, so we'll see. You just boop things, so glad I'm not the only one that does that. Wait, did I boop? Did I boop? I didn't even realize I did that. My son, I think it must have been Aaron and me that did it to Jackson, but we would boop his nose, and now like it's been his thing for months now. Right? He'll lay next to you, look over at you, and smile, and then just tap your nose and go boop. It's pretty freaking cute. Except that he doesn't just do it once, he keeps doing it, and after a while I'm like, alright, I get it, we boop. Okay, so next we're installing the coupling. Loctite and 20 Ugga-Duggas? Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I'm not gonna Loctite the little coupling for the Bowden tubing. That seems like something I don't normally do. Like, I mean, if it ends up coming off in the future, I'll do it, but I'm less concerned about this. This is the last thing we have to put on, and then we're actually attaching the tool heads to these pins, so we are super close. I can taste the tool heads. All right. Oh, shoot. Ah. Whoop. All right, so let's raise. Oh, I forgot this doesn't go that high. We go a little bit higher? Yeah, kind of. So you just have to, you get what's going on. There's a thread in the top of this here, so I'm just gonna hand tighten it. I might grab a little, I'll probably take the Knipex pliers and just do a tiny more turn to kind of secure it in place. I don't want to use too much force. Boop. Oh, dang it. Now I got boop on my mind. Okay, that's probably plenty. I am a little scared. This is sheet metal still. Like, it is thicker, but as we've established, it's, you know, there's a fine line between it's tight and the sheet metal, and the sheet metal is loose. I just don't want it to be able to, yeah, that feels plenty tight. It's probably good too. Nice. Okay. All right. Oh, no. In my defense, it's impressive that it does not happen more often. I am constantly having to step around everything like booby traps. Okay, let me get a quick sip of... All right, So the thing I want to see. Oh, come on. So it looks like what happens if I just attach this? Like, let's just stick this onto one of the docks and see what happens here. I'm assuming. Wait, what? I must be doing something wrong because, yeah, I'm doing it backwards. I was like, how come the nozzle is nowhere near where it's supposed to be? Oh, there's, ooh, okay. That's cool. All right, so let's pull this cable. Like that. Let's shove our second tool head in here. Like so. Okay. Okay, this is looking cool now. And the last one, right here, is going right here. Oops, why is it not? There we go. Okay, so it's just the cable that was in the way. Sweet! So our tools are in place. I think I might call it here, honestly. We're getting close to 4 hours and we haven't streamed more than 3 hours in quite a long time. And then very likely is I'll just do the last of the wiring on this and show you. So just to show a quick preview, the only thing I'm really going to be doing is zip tying one of these. I'll show this. Zip tying this guy to keep the cables all nice and organized. So be zip tying this to the tool head and then zip tying the wires coming off the tool head to this guy. And then zip tying the other end to the sheet metal. And then running the PTFE cable through it. And that's very likely where I'll leave off. Maybe I'll install the side panel as well because that's not super exciting to see and it's just a side panel. And then we'll leave it at that. And I won't do anything with like wiring. So we'll pick up next week and I'll just kind of show the, the cables wired in, and then we will actually get it all connected down below to the controller. I think that's a good place to leave off. So yeah, my main goal for this stream was to get the 3 tool heads built, which we did get them built and they are mounted. Granted, I took a shortcut. I didn't exactly do the, the little wire piece of it, but after this, I'm pretty sure let's just check this. I think it's just the wiring, camera mounting, tool carriage wiring. So it's wiring basically, touchscreen installation, and then clipper flashing. Sick. So we should be doing, I might also try to do this before next week's stream, is just flashing clipper. That's very likely what I will do. I don't think I'll do all this flashing, but I'll very likely flash the clipper image to the Pi 2. That way we don't have to do that because that's what takes the longest time. Then we'll go through the other flashing processes. So sweet. Did you see the video from CNC Kitchen about interlocking layers? I did. So I didn't watch the video. I saw the thumbnail for the video and I thought that it was, I assumed it was like the block printing that was done manually before, but now it was an Orca slicer. So I will take a look. I'll take a look and say I can watch it. I haven't watched a ton of 3D printing stuff lately. It's been mostly gardening and wasp videos, honestly. Pushing plastic next week, I think that's optimistic. I think we will power it on next week and flash all of the controller components, but I think there's a pretty heavy amount of calibration. I mean, even just just look at this, y'all. Like, we're gonna go through, this is all just under flashing, right? So like, I mean, granted, we might go through it. Sorry to make some of you dizzy, I'm sure. So there's 44 flashing steps. Oh, sick! There's a nozzle LED sort of thing on this. I wondered what was, I didn't show it when we were looking at this orbiter earlier, but I thought I saw something that looked kind of like an LED. I didn't point it out, I didn't realize it, but based off that, it looks like it was an LED. So that's, oh, and then we have calibrate. No, there's no way. I'm just gonna strip. There's no way we're printing next week. I'm saying we're having everything flash next week, and we're working our way through calibrations. That's probably realistic. So, yeah, I don't really know what to expect. I have an idea of what I think I'll be expecting, with the key difference being offset calibration being a big one, and docking and you know, basically grabbing the tool heads. I think those are the big ones, so we'll see. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out today. Like I said, sorry about last week. I just felt like crap and had to take the day off, and so hopefully whatever's going on with my thumb also gets better, so you don't have to keep hearing me complain about my thumb. I know that's probably gonna get old. Yeah, I appreciate everyone hanging out today. There was a ton of support today, so thank you for all of the wild amount of gifted memberships, for everyone that renewed memberships. I know we had, I think it was RS that hit 3 years today. And there's a few other that were like really close to 3 years, as well as thank you to the people that donated today and everyone that just hung out. As always, nothing is certainly nothing is expected. It's nice just hanging out with everybody, but of course, like, additional support is always appreciated. Congratulations to our local residents GPs for winning today's Polymaker giveaway. I will send you a Discord message probably this evening, GPs, with the code and the link for you. So, all right, I made a mod button. You're better late than ever. Just right on time, Brent. All right, everyone, have a wonderful week, and I will catch you all next time. Cheers. Bye.